Good morning and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with KetoSimple. This stream will be starting soon, so grab your coffee, get comfortable, and settle in. We're building a strong and supportive community, so say hello in the chat, ask questions, and feel free to use super chats. Thank you for being here and being a part of this journey. Let's keep it positive and respectful as we connect and grow together. I can't wait to get started. Good morning and happy Sunday, everyone. My name is Dustin. Thank you for joining me today. Whoo! This is Sunday morning with coffee. I can't talk. I'm surprised I'm awake. I've been asleep all week. Oh my goodness. And for some reason, the browser isn't playing the music for me, so it's hard to get all hyped up for this show. You know what I mean? I pick music to get me going, so when it's going, I'm ready to just jump into this thing and start talking and hanging out with you guys. But for some reason, it's not been doing what I want it to do, and as is this computer most of the time, I'm always having some kind of technical difficulty, but let's hope we can get through this today. I'm hoping to go for 2 hours. We'll see how it goes. I'm hot. I'm sweaty a little bit today. I just showered for you. I showered, so I'm not stinky for you. You're going to have to deal with some sniffles and maybe some coughs and some, who knows, maybe some sneezes. The residuals of all the fun that I put up with all week. Oh my goodness. Yes, indeed. My name is Dustin. This is KetoSimple, Sunday Morning Coffee. Thank you for joining me, where I come here, hang out with you guys, share my journey of losing over 100 pounds on a ketogenic, maybe primarily meat-based diet, but it ebbs and flows. Currently, I'm doing BBB&E, and we're going to talk today about how challenging it is to stay BBB&E when you feel like garbage warmed over thrice. Oh, but let's take a look and see who's in the chat today. Evelyn is here. She says, good snowy morning, friends. Indeed, it is a snowy morning. They didn't plow, and Shander was, I think, late to work today because she left early, but it was not plowed. So she was just kind of drifting along, but she made it safe. She did text me, let me know she made it safe, and that's all that matters. Andy says, no doubt, very white around here. I've been around your house. That makes sense. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Carnivore K. Good morning, Kay. Lots of rain, he says, in western North Carolina and windy. Windy? Yeah, we got the snow and the sleet, and 2 boys moved into our house last night. After 11 o'clock, they called us at 10, and they're like, yeah, we're on our way over to live with you. And we have to have the U-Haul back by midnight. Like, what? Are you serious? So, if you're unfamiliar with our situation, I'll give you the high level. So, our boys lived with our daughter. So, basically, we have 3 kids of our own. The daughter has a boyfriend, so that adds another kid. And then we have another boy that's basically a bonus kid who's just basically, he's adopted us. He's just a part of the family. He goes on vacation with us. He is family. He's one of our kids. But that gets confusing if you think we have 3 kids and then we talk about like 5. So you get an understanding of what's going on. And there's another bonus kid in there, and there's another kid who's in Guantanamo or somewhere. I don't know. Um, we have kids kind of all over the country. We were just that house. We were the house where kids came to just kind of chill. And, we were the safe place. No riffraff going on here, but it was safe and it was a place where they could come and get rest and, and not have to deal with some of the stuff they may have been dealing with at home. But yeah, so the our youngest and their bonus and our daughter and her man and our granddaughter all lived in a house. They were in that house for over a year. And I want to say it had to be at least a year or two. I think they lived in that house for 2 years, maybe. I can't remember for sure. But then they were going to get their rent jacked up by like $500 extra a month. So they couldn't afford that. So the daughter, her fiance, and our granddaughter moved in with his parents. And that left the boys to go and find a place of their own 3 months ago. And well, they did not accomplish their task because it'll happen. We'll do it. It's fine. We've got time. We're moving in. So that's where we are. I think they're asleep in one of the spare rooms. So this coming week, we'll probably have to go and find them a place to go. There's just, we have room, but we don't have room. If I had to get rid of my office, then they would have this room. The granddaughter has a room, and the big loft area out there, which would be like the size of 2 full bedrooms, is her eBay stuff. So it's like listed and unlisted stuff, and it's just a lot of stuff. It's a lot. Look at me. It's a lot. Okay, it's a lot. But she does amazing things with that stuff, so I never judge her for it. But she has to know that sometimes she has to rein it in because it starts to encroach on the stairs and it sort of starts to eat the house. It just starts to take over, and we have to rein it in. Jeff Fafa is in the house. Good morning, Jeff. John Gugahan is in the house. I'm so glad to see you. Everybody's saying hello. Becky, good morning. Good morning, Becky. Sherry's in the house. Your very sleepy morning coffee. Yes, 2 weekends in a row. Look at that. Look at that. Sandy Blythe, good morning from Florida. Well, thank you, Sandy, for being here. I must apologize for those new members that got memberships gifted to them or have added themselves to the memberships. As of Tuesday, I did not get anybody updated because we went down for the count and I slept for the week and I haven't had a chance to go in and edit that. They have to go in, edit the names, and then re-render the things and put them together. And I have to render 2 separate things together. It's kind of a process, and I have to do that twice because they have 2 lives and they're both different. So I just want you guys to know that if you are a member, you get your names in there, and it does take me some work to put your names in there. Cindy is here. Good morning, Cindy. Thank goodness you showered. I know, right? I smell like candy. I have this deodorant that smells like candy. It's pretty, it does. It smells like candy, like hard candy. It's weird. People are saying good morning to each other. If I miss a chat, just try and forgive me. Oh, let's see. I know the feeling. Trisha's saying that I have an awesome beard. Thank you so very much. I'm very interested in how your mood was on Triple B&E. Well, I'm still on Triple B&E. This is not my first rodeo. I've been allowing myself flavored electrolytes in my morning coffee. So I'm having my morning coffee right here with you guys today, right now. First sip, second cup of coffee since getting sick last Tuesday. So if you understand how important coffee is to me, then you'll understand that going that long without coffee was miserable. That was probably the worst part of it. And there was like headaches involved, congestion so bad that like made my teeth hurt. just laying there. You can't really do much. Your head hurts. You're just laying there. You're like, I took some Mucinex, some, but it didn't do a lot. I was just trying to take some ibuprofen here and there. I was trying to stay hydrated. So I was drinking, I basically just lived on electrolytes. And I did have, I did have a chocolate keto chow the other day. So that doesn't fit into triple B&E, but that's, then I had some eggs and I've had some hamburger patties and I had some of this like sugar-free like Sunny D stuff that we've had, and that's got some vitamin C in it. Not that I think that I necessarily need it, but it was cool and refreshing and it wasn't an electrolyte. Kind of wanted that. So I had some of that with some ice and extra water so it wasn't so thick. But I've been maintaining, I haven't eaten anything. I tell you, the urge the other night was so strong to go and have bad for us food. We talked about getting pizza, we talked about getting Thai food, we talked about all this stuff, Chandra and I, and we resisted it. So I think it's quite the testament to our resolve for this challenge that we've set for ourselves. I mean, yeah, we've let a little bit in. I think she's had some chocolate chips and stuff because I mean, just being sick takes it all out of you. And I think if we can do something to keep ourselves as much on track as possible, I think that goes a long way. And I think, and I think that I am proud of us for not giving in. Valentine's Day, being sick. I tell you what, that yellow curry did sound mighty delicious. But let me take a break here. Let me take a sip of this coffee. Mm. Today's coffee, as I was talking about on Cindy's live the other night, it was in the chat. I wasn't on the live, but I was talking about there's 5 shots of espresso in here, and then 3 tablespoons, which is essentially a shot each of espresso powder. That's about 512 grams of caffeine. That's a lot of caffeine, okay, boys and girls. And then I've added some butter and some heavy cream, so it's nice and fatty. It's probably, I don't know how many calories this is. Not that I really care, but I mean, I haven't been eating much the last week, so I've been under eating and kind of fasting and, all that stuff, basically, for all intents and purposes. I've been having the flavored electrolytes and I do have this today in case I get thirsty because it's kind of warm in here. And I know this is trash. I'm fully aware. But it's cold, it's wet, and it's not as bad as it could be. So, you got to pick your battles. Pick your battles. Especially when when you've been like feeling so gross and all you want to do is find the most comforting comfort food. I was watching something about like fried chicken and it looks so good. And it was like, because all you can do is kind of lay there and you kind of wake up for a while and you're just kind of like you're scrolling through videos. You know what I mean? Just mindlessly scrolling. It's all food. And they're making like macaroni and cheese lasagna rolls. And you're like, oh, yeah. Because what did you, in the before times, eat when you were sick? What was your go-to sick food? Tomato soup or like tomato soup and crackers. That was huge in my house. Chicken noodle soup and crackers. A lot of crackers involved. Saltine crackers. My mom would make us hot Jello water. So that's like my keto chow I made the other night was hot. It was a hot chocolate keto chow. It was phenomenal. Oh, it tasted so good. I'll tell you what. I told you it's going to be coffee and sneezy and all the things today. But I mean, my mood has been good. It's stable. I'm not hating triple B&E this round. I'm okay with the burger patties, with the meat, the beef, the eggs. I've been doing okay. Brian Doyle is in the house. Good morning, Mr. Doyle. I hope you're doing fantastic. More people saying hello to each other. Let's see. Oh, I meant the snow currently. Oh, I understand. I just had to make a quip. Because I remember coming into your little meetup and following behind those go-karts. Not the go-karts, the golf carts with their flags a waving. I was like, where am I going? Where is she taking us to? What's happening? But anyway, lived to tell the tale. Yeah, two more people means more sickness in the house normally, but they don't. So now they're not around kids. They work at UPS. They will be basically keeping to themselves because the more they're around us, the more we're probably going to ask them to do stuff, and they're not going to want to do it. So hopefully they're not here all that long. Not that we don't. Not that we don't want them here, but it's just a tight living situation with how we've got things set up now. And they're not going to be comfortable because they can't stay up all night and game and be loud and do whatever they want. They're going to be kind of hindered. So they'll probably be wanting to be kind of finding their own way out, hopefully. It's like I love them and I want to spend time with them, but I don't necessarily want to live with them. I like being empty nesters. I like it when the house is nice and quiet. And it's quiet right now, but they're asleep and I don't know if they're going to be awake and they might scare me. Like last night I was working in my office here for a little bit trying to get this live set up and getting the Keto Crusade live set up. So be on the lookout for that. That's set up and ready to go on my channel. The boys will be setting it up and putting it out on their channels as the week goes on. I still need to update the thumbnail. That is a placeholder thumbnail for now. I have been working on making things more elaborate as I do. I want things to look good and be professional, and I want to give you guys what you deserve, the very, very best. Okay, so let's see. Oh, Cindy, I need you to send me your updated logo because I want to make a new thing for you. So when you send me that, send it in the Google thing that you know how to do. Send it to me there if you can, if you remember. And then I'll make you an updated new thing you can use on different videos or lives or whatever. Okay, dear? Michelle Rodriguez is here. Michelle says, hello from Zionsville, Indiana. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Excuse me. Have you ever been to Wonder Tree Regenerative Farm in Zionsville? Great beef, pork, chicken, and raw dairy. I have not been to any regenerative farms anywhere. Not that I'm against it. I just have to make sure that we can afford to go there. I don't know how much things are. Can you buy in bulk for cheaper? Because right now we're in a situation where we buy as much as we're buying what we can as more affordably as we can. So, but I'm not against it. I would be interested in checking it out. We don't really do pork, basically just beef, some chicken, eggs. I would like to find a nice supplier of eggs who isn't going to price gouge me. I'd like to spend, I'd like to, get them for, less than $30 for 5 dozen. That would be nice. But again, welcome. Thank you so much. I do believe you're a member, but thank you for being a member. I don't know if you were one of the ones who were gifted a membership, but thank you so very much. Let's see. People saying hello. It's great to be here. Well, fantastic. It's great to have you. Oh my goodness. People saying hello. Cindy says it's pouring there. It's supposed to be snow at some point today. Very windy. Evelyn needs coffee. Oh, yes. Sean says, Shell's making me a cup of coffee, s'more flavored. How can you have some more if you haven't had any already? Oh, I can tell this is going to be a nightmare of me being really dumb today. Oh, let's see. Good morning to all the friends Evelyn said. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Andy. I appreciate that. I missed your live yesterday. I'm so very sorry about that. I hope you understand. I went back to bed and I'm like, because I tossed and turned all night, especially when I'm trying to be quiet and I'm trying to make sure I don't wake her up in the middle of the night because she goes to work so early. Oh my goodness. Yes. Sean says, we're in Virginia and getting hit by the same rainstorm as you. Lots of flooding up here. Hope things aren't too bad down there. Oh my goodness. We just got some snow, in Foma. People are saying hello to Michelle. Hello, Michelle. Michelle. I want coffee too. Mm. Oh, flooding. Everybody's going to have flooding. We've got snow. It's slippery. They haven't plowed yet. Duck soup. I want some duck soup. That sounds delicious. I did make some chicken noodle soup the other day. It was just like it was beef broth. And then I put in like some chili garlic paste because when I'm sick, I want spicy. I need spice. Lots and lots of spice. Does anybody else like when you're not feeling good, do you need spicy food? And I know, and that's just as of late, like the spicier the better. So I took some beef broth and some spicy chili sauce, some garlic chili sauce. And then I dropped in some pieces of chicken that we had in the fridge. I'm like, I need to probably have some protein. And then I took an egg life wrap and I cut it into small pieces and put that in there, let that soak in the water and kind of they puff up a little bit. And then I dropped 3 eggs in there and let those kind of poach for a little bit. And I didn't break the yolks until I poured it into the bowl and stirred it up. And then I ate that. That stuff it's like super duper, like on the spot chicken noodle soup. And it's phenomenal. So good. It might have been only exacerbatedly better because I'm like, I'm like sitting in my chair, like, Andy says, I added collagen to my coffee. Let's see if any difference. Plus, equip vanilla protein order for my Ninja and make it all creamy. So yeah, like the other day, I made that keto chow, and I was so lazy. I didn't want to have to clean my blender because my Ninja blender is a good blender, but it's difficult to clean. And it's just a pain in the rear to clean. So I was like, what can I do? And I'm not feeling great. And I'm like, I'm trying to get Chandra's lunch together, put it in the fridge so I can go to bed. So I'm like, how can I do this? So I take the butter, I put the butter in like one of these stainless cups, not this one, not Mr. Beaver. But I put it in one of those cups with the the powder, and then I just poured boiling water over it, use an immersion blender on it, and then so I had the butter, and then I put some heavy cream in it too. I'll tell you what, the combo of the two and the boiling water makes a phenomenal hot beverage. Like those flavors pop really right away. You don't have to wait for it to sit in the fridge for 2 or 3 days. Try it. If you haven't tried making keto chow hot with boiling water, so not microwaving it, just I got a kettle on the stove. Let me know if you've tried that. Let me know how you feel about it. Jeff his comfort food was grilled cheese. Carnivore K said, growing up, Sprite and crackers. Yeah, Sprite, ginger ale. Yeah, all those. I love that stuff. Cindy says, I get it, Dustin. We used to have many people in our house. Now it's just us, and it's great. Can't imagine going back. Yeah, it's just like during the the COV times, we had everybody in the house. It was all of us. There was like 9 of us. It was like Shander, myself, our three boys, our bonus boy, the daddy of and the granddaughter all together living in this house. Not any privacy at all. People saying hi to Rick. Yes. Cindy with a $10 super chat. I sure hope you get feeling even better soon. Love you. Well, love you too, dear. Thank you so very much. I truly appreciate that. Yeah, I've set a goal just as the lives. Never feel obligated, but I'm trying to make sure I have, enough money to where I can go to all these meetups, drive into Columbus, and we're going to be going to Cincinnati area, and we're going to be going to Elkhart, and I want to go back down to Dixon in April. I want to go back down, and I want to. There's a video that I want to film with Chris Cook in Nashville. He's working on a thing that he hasn't talked about yet, but we've been kind of conversing back and forth. So when he's ready with that particular recipe, I want to be in the studio. And yeah, so if you haven't watched the video that I was with Chris Cook in Nashville, if somebody would put that link in the chat, that would be awesome, because it was so much fun being down there with them. They're so hospitable. They're just like the family, like family you didn't know you had. Like I don't know, like they just kind of came out of nowhere, and they're just the sweetest people. And they've taken us in, and like they've taken me in, and like we're like best friends. We text all the time, and we joke and we laugh and we have a good time. And yeah, I want to try to make sure I can get back down there again. And I know there's going to be another Q&A down in Dixon, and I want to do that. Just all that stuff, all that driving and gas money, and now eggs is like $30. Oh my goodness. Note to all, don't make him laugh. Make me laugh all you want. Laughter is the best medicine. It just sounds weird. Oh, good morning, Patricia Hoffman. It's pouring in South Carolina. I love South Carolina. I've only got to spend a couple of days there. We were down in Cologne Beach. I know that's not, I don't know where you are and how far you are from that, but if you ever have a chance, go to Cologne Beach. There's a little town there, and it's just peaceful. And we went on the off season. We went in like November, December, so it was like dead as a doornail. But it was glorious. You can just walk on the beach during the day. The sun was out. It was warm enough to sit out. And we had some drinks. We'd go to the restaurants, and we would sit outside at night under the heaters and hear the water. And it was just glorious. There was one night we were there that the moon was so bright that it lit up the beach and it lit up everything. And you could just walk out on the beach like it was being lit. And the one thing I do like about that section of beach is it's very hard, compacted sand. So you can, if you can ride a bike, they have bike rentals, and you can rent bikes and ride up and down the beach because it's a hard, compacted beach, and you can walk way out, and like you're not going to get really above knee high for 100+ yards into the water. It's pretty cool. Now, one thing about like going there during the summer, I guess they do have more instances of shark activity than where we go. Typically during the summer, we go to Gulf Shores, and they have so I mean, it's probably half dozen one or the other, but I never felt weird being in the water in Gulf Shores. Let's see. You're going to have to watch the replay we talked about, y'all. Oh my goodness. I'll have to watch it. I'll put it on today. Evelyn says, hubby is dropping some strawberry cheesecake bones coffee. Whoop, whoop. So y'all be like, I want coffee, but picture it. It doesn't taste anything like coffee. And I'm like, add more coffee flavor to my coffee, please. Mm. Ah. Yeah, I mean, it was good, but then I just kind of like it kind of left like I drank it right before bed. Bad mistake, and I was just kind of bloaty because I hadn't eaten anything, you know. Stacy, good morning, Stacy and Ken. We love you. Brian Doyle says, home show today. Have a great day. Well, fantastic. Have a great day. Hope you do well. I think you'll be probably selling things there. I hope and hope you sell it all. Make all the money. Andy says, hi, Stacy. Looking forward to seeing you in Columbus. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you people in Columbus and the hugs. Sean Bradley, $20. Are you kidding me? Hope you feel better soon. Thank you, Sean. Truly, truly appreciate you so very much. I hope I feel better soon, too. It's just lingering now. Like the bad part's over, but it's like, yeah. And the hard part is I keep having to like synchronize sleep. So like I'll roll over and I have to kind of see, is she facing me? And I don't want to we don't want to lay face to face because I don't want to breathe in her face, never breathe in my face. And we're just like recycling sickness. So like I lay on like this side and I'm like, and I get so sore and I can lean, okay, so she's facing that way. So I can roll over for a little bit. I'm like, well, I don't want to lay here too long. And then I'm like rolling back on the other side because I don't want to, I don't want to breathe in her face. And I'm just like long enough just to where my body doesn't hurt, especially when you sleep for days. Oh my goodness gracious. Like everything hurts. Becky says, drink some hot bone broth. Even when I do drink just pure broth, I'm usually putting something very, very, very spicy in it. Very spicy. Stacy says, keto chow doesn't fill me up and even stay with me. Ken likes his keto chow ice cream. I use it mostly for cooking, like chili yesterday with the tomato basil added. So I actually made a double batch. So I was like, I didn't think that the cup was going to be enough for one. So I made two. And so basically I made two. It wasn't a full two. So it was probably two 16-ounce keto chows, which would have been good for creamies, but they were hot. And I used a stick of butter between the two of them because I mixed them all together in one. And I got super duper full on that. I don't normally get full on things like keto chow or anything like that. That was a thing when I was a kid. Like we would get the Carnation Instant Breakfast and I would want to drink 7 of them because they were good. They tasted yummy and like they didn't fill me up. I didn't find satiety with them. But I think having not eaten any real food for a while, that did, the satiety signaling was working very well at that point. So having a full stick of butter did help me with that. So I would say something that's a definite thing to keep in mind. If you're not finding satiety with keto chow, just add more butter. And then I added heavy cream on top of that. Oh my goodness. And that hot, and I'm telling you, that boiling water pops that flavor because people say that like if you just make it with heavy cream, it's like the flavors are muted. But I like making it with butter. The flavors pop more. But I think using that boiling water unlocked that flavor. And then I didn't use as much water as I probably should have and basically made 2 small shakes instead of 2 big shakes. And I basically just we sat and I was watching a little bit of TV before we went back to sleep, but we had been asleep all day. And so I was like, I just need to put something in me. And like that sounded really good. And I was like, this is gonna help me keep me on track and not make me go dig through whatever we may or may not have. Because I've got little bags of stuff that are, from different events and stuff that are just kind of stowed around the place. And I'm like, I didn't want to get into like, whatever we may have and just eat a bunch of stuff I'll regret. That I mean, it won't make me feel good. That might make me have to go to the restroom more than I'm already going. So, I was trying to, and I found satiety with that, which is kind of strange because typically with keto chow, I don't find that satiety. But I think mixed with not feeling great, that was really, 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 really good. And so here's that link with me and Chris and Ash as well, trying out those waffles of his. Oh my Lord, those are amazing. The mashed potatoes, fantastic. He put all that stuff together. Amazing, amazing food. Let's see. Quack quack go fast is here. Sick food is green chili sauce cleans out your son. I love green chili sauce. I love like spicy curry and all that stuff. I love hot spicy food. It really just kind of gets the sinuses flowing. I really like that. John Gugahan is still here listening while I get stuff done. Fantastic. Here is the Keto Crusade coming up. Fantastic. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you so, so very much for that. Brian says, eat a ghost pepper or two. Usually chases everything away from the body, including your tears, your soul. It's gone. Oh man, I couldn't imagine. Oh my, couldn't imagine that. Man, you just be sitting there miserable and your mouth on fire. You just in your face is leaking from every orifice. That's what I need. Snot coming out of your ears. It just be bad. There's people on the internet that I will watch that eat like the hottest peppers and they just throw them in their mouth and eat them like popcorn. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Who hurt you? And I like spicy food. I'll add like I've had dried ghost peppers before, and I've added one into a big pot of chili, and it gave the most amazing, epic, smoky heat without being overbearing. But it was just enough, like it was there, and you knew it was there, but it wasn't like punching you in the face. It was perfect. One pepper, giant pot of chili, amazing. Terry Moose Mama's in the house. Well, thank you so much for being here from Northern Ontario. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Got an international stream going on here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Yeah, Andy's says putting more fat will fill you up with keto chow. The fat will fill you up. I'm using butter now, and it's better than when I was using avocado oil. Avocado oil in a sweet shake sounds awful. I mean, it would work, but it just doesn't sound appetizing to me. I mean, like glug 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 glug. No, 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 no. Ugh. You see what I did there? Don't tell anybody. What's it? Pretend it didn't happen. Anyway, Jeff says he puts a whole stick of butter in all his keto chow shakes. I was doing that for a while, but then I was like, that's a lot. And I use salted butter too. I'm not afraid. Salted butter. I'm not afraid. All right, Kay. Thank you for being here. Got to get ready for church. We'll enjoy. Be safe. Please be safe. Sean says keto pretty much liked my spice tolerance. I used to eat the hottest wings possible at B Dubs. Now I'm a wimp and can barely handle regular hot wings. Okay, so I understand what you're saying here. I was always going hotter and hotter and hotter. There was a point where, like, I remember the first time I ever tried sriracha. We were in this back alley place. We were at this bar. We'd hang out all the time. It was a dirty, gross alley. I mean, it's called the Alley Cat for a reason, right? But there was like this, you could get this, like, this awesome food from this little side window. And then and somebody was like, offered me a fry, and I took a fry and had some sriracha on it. And like, I remember the smokiness of it. And it was just like, oh, what's that? And then like, that was kind of before it really kind of blew up and became the sauce, the trendy hipster sauce that it became. But, and then I was putting it on everything. I wouldn't even eat pizza without sriracha. Hot dogs, sriracha. Pizza, sriracha. Everything, sriracha. I still like sriracha, but it's got a gram of sugar per serving or whatever. So I'm not that big into it. I use it sparingly now, but they also make the garlic chili paste that is less. There's no sugar in it. But, you know, then I was buying like habanero powder and I was sprinkling that on my pizzas and and just the hotter the better. I was like, oh yeah. And then keto came along, and like my spice tolerance took a nosedive. Like now, sometimes mix up some mustard and the spicy chili sauce, and it's like, woo, and I'm like, what happened to me? I used to get like I not really get the hottest wings from BW3s. I had a lot of friends who worked there, and I would see what that sauce did to their clothes. And I figured that was probably not a good idea to do that to my insides because it would bleach their clothes. And it would like eat through the metal pans. It was pretty crazy to see that my friends when they would work the B-dubs. But I remember like even when I go to B-dubs now, sometimes I'll get the traditional wings naked. You know, that's how we do. You just get them naked. And that's how the party starts. And then sometimes I'll get Caribbean jerk. It's kind of sugary, and I know, but like we may go to B-dubs now twice a year because they've kept raising the prices. So now it's not an affordable family, not an affordable like date night that it used to be. Because we'd go on Tuesdays and get basically buy one, get one free. And now it's like buy one, get one half off. And they're upcharging everything. And it's just not what it used to be. So we don't go out hardly anymore. And then the fact that like date nights aren't that great if there's not a good movie going on, or like even going bowling, like a lane for an hour is $45. You know what I mean? And the two of us, that's a lot of money. So our date nights usually consist of a little munchkin coming with us. And that's the way we like it now. Even though we probably should have some more just us time. Besides this week, we had a lot of just us time snoring next to each other while we were miserable. But, people saying goodbye to K. It's hard to be like, every kiss begins with K. I don't know. That's like whenever Stacy comes in, I'm like, Stacy's mom has got it going on. But I mean, I never met her mom, so I have no idea if she had it going on. I imagine she did, but I never met the lady. And she's probably awesome. She is the mom of Stacy, who's pretty rad too. But you know what I mean? Just things that are in my head. So just know that I'm seeing and saying and singing things in my head that I don't let out until I do. And then you're like, what is wrong with this guy? What is wrong with this guy? Oh my goodness. Let's see. Cindy's cheering for butter. Yay, butter! Woo! Let's see. I eat yogurt in the regular, so I take your opinion with a grain of salt. I don't know what that means. Yeah, a whole stick. That's the way to do it. It's delicious. I use salted butter for shakes, not just for butter bites. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Salty butter bites made salted brown butter. Susan declined, but I'll use them in eggs. Way salty. Oh, I bet. I only use butter and keto chow. Last few I made for his ice cream, I used coffee for the liquid too, chocolate and snickerdoodle he liked. That sounds amazing, to be honest with you. That's awesome, Jeff. Evelyn says, I'm still trying to use my seriously salty butter bites. I keep them in the freezer and drop them in coffee every now and then. Yeah, you said you made those and they were just too salty. You've got me rolling here. You're so funny. This is why my Sundays are with you. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm glad I'm not the only one that has a soundtrack going on in their heads pretty much all the time. So I've been basically like in my own head for like the last week, and Shannon and I would talk a little bit, but like I kind of got on a tangent yesterday, and I was talking with Chris and Victor in our group chat, talking about music for no reason, but I just needed to get it out of my head, I guess. And like maybe I need to talk to Sean about it, but Sean appreciates the heavier things in life. And I was talking about like I don't even remember how the topic came up, but it was like, these bands that I like, and yeah, it's just one of those things. I've got like always something going on in my head. Music, something, a movie quote, something. Barbara Caster's in the house. Good morning from snowy Portland, Indiana. I love salty butter bites. Super yum. So Barbara's in Portland, Indiana. Are you going to come to our Elkhart meetup? I don't know where Portland, Indiana is. I do have a job where I drive all over Tarnation and go to new places I've never heard of. I've been to Perth, Indiana. I've been to Monon, Indiana. I've been to all these places that I have never once heard of until I get in the van and I drive to those places. And then I realize there's nothing there except a train, and I'm picking up the people off the train. Cindy says, I use coffee as a liquid for Brian's Irish cream keto chow shake one day. He drinks very few shakes, prefers ice cream. Who doesn't like ice cream? Ice cream, you scream. We all scream for ice cream. You know what I mean? That's what we do. Steph is in the house exposing darkness. Good morning, listening while at the health club. Getting a schwitz. I hope you're enjoying your health club time. Kitchen Witch is in the house. Good morning, but first, coffee and butter. Hails. I love it. Yes. That's awesome. Come up for a visit sometime. We barely leave the house. Oh. And Sandy S is telling Barbara, I'm from Bern, Indiana. Is that Bern or Bernie? Let me look and see. I don't know what's going on, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I have King's X in my head. I've not listened to much King's X, so I don't know much about King's X. But yeah. Look at that. Barbara and Sandy are so close together. Woo, let's get together. You guys go out to lunch, become best friends, build bunk beds out of king beds, and have a good time. Yes. I love that. Become friends. Know more people. Grow the community. I love it. My ear is itchy. But I tell you, I haven't broken down and drink. I have a Coke Zero 20 ounce in in the fridge, and I haven't drank that. And I also bought myself a Monster Blue Hawaiian new flavor they put out, and it's in the fridge. That's waiting for me for when I'm all done with Triple B&E, or I decide, hey, I need something to get me going right now. And I'm kind of waiting. I have that in there, and I hope it's good. Like a blue Hawaii. You know what I mean? I doubt, like, open a can and Elvis starts singing. I worked with a guy for a long time, and we would have these long debates. We'd work right together. So we were, working on this line, and it was a warehouse type thing, and we were basically packing CDs into these machines, and they were filtering them out and putting them into boxes so they could go to different stores and all that stuff. And we had these long, drawn-out conversations. Who, to you, and I know that I have the perfect audience for this, is cooler, in your own opinion? Not necessarily who had the best music, But who was cooler to you? Like when you thought of them or saw pictures of them, or you may have wanted to try to dress like them. Who was cooler to you? Elvis Presley or Frank Sinatra? I think, and I would argue the fact that I always thought Frank was cooler. Not that I didn't think Elvis was cool, but Elvis wasn't as consistent as Frank. You know. So chew on that for a little bit. I need to scroll back up here to see what's going on. Make sure I'm not missing any of the wonderful people in here. No more people. No, not no more people. Yeah. Understand your words. All right. So Stacy says, who's going to Elkhart? Some of us are going to Ship Shawana on Wednesday. Breakfast, then fun. Ship Shawana. I don't even know where that is or what it is or anything. Cindy tells me that she sent me that logo. I appreciate that. I'll get that rendered and taken care of sometime today. Yeah, small world. Let's see. Sandy, we have family in Bern, and my son and daughter-in-law work there. Let's see. Cindy said, we will not be able to make it to Elkhart because you don't love me. I understand. I understand. The knife cuts just so deep, okay? It's far for you guys. I know. It's like 6 hours or something for you, isn't it? Let's see. Cindy says, Frank. Let me see if I can put a vote in here. I think there was a way. I think I might have to bring it up on the computer to put a thing up here. Let me see what I can do. A blue. I can listen to Elvis music more than I can Sinatra's. I think Sinatra's music is good. I think Sinatra's cooler than Elvis, but I think Elvis to me had the more solid music. And that might be a fight in the chat too. Obviously not what I'm trying to do. But you understand. There we go. The poll is live. The poll is live. Sean said, every night around quitting time when I worked at Pizza Hut, we used to sing Sha-na-na-na, Sha-na-na-na-na, good night. Yeah. Sandy, Ava's, Barbara are relatively close to me as well. catch 127 to Ohio South to the meetup in June in Eaton, Ohio. That would be so cool. Oh, sweet. Bride's Biscuits in the house. Hello, Bride's Biscuit. Uh-oh. I came in on Elvis versus Frank. It's on. Sup, fam? Yes. And Stacy says, Cindy, we miss you and Brian, or we will miss you and Brian. When will you be in Columbus? I'll be in Columbus. Columbus comes first. Because first comes Columbus, then comes Elkhart, and then comes our meetup in May, and then Andy's in June. So there's 4 meetups coming. Yeah. That's a lot of driving for me. I mean, even my meetup is like an hour drive. Sandy says, I wish we could come to Elkhart, but it's a school night. I know Elkhart's tough because it's a Tuesday, but realistically, when Miriam and I were talking about this, it was a choice between a Sunday and a Tuesday. And if we went with Sunday, Chandra could not attend, and Chandra misses almost every single meetup. So it's a Tuesday, so Chandra can come and people can actually get a chance to interact with her, and I can prove that she's not a hologram. You know, and I mean, I know you guys are worried about it, that she's AI generated hologram, and she's not real, and she's a figment of my imagination. But I assure you, she is very much real and scary, and you will be like, ah, but not really. But she's great. Carl has my kind of sentiment here. Not Fat Elvis in a jumpsuit, not the best fashion choices, right? I think he was just kind of along for the ride. I don't even think he knew what was going on at the time. Those were like, you know, Coke choices. I mean, yeah. Barbara's coming to Elkhart, Stacy, but just for the meetup. I'm still a working girl. Boo, I have to get back for the job. Yeah. John's off to church. Be safe, be safe, be safe. Thanks for keeping me company while I did my chores. Well, thank you so much, John, for being here. We appreciate you. Be safe. Have a good day, and we'll see you again soon. Okay, bud? People saying hello to more people. Hello, I should say it. March 8th, and then Eaton June 28th. You're not coming to the May 24th meetup, Cindy? Rude. Let's see. Cindy, are you going to be Columbus in March? Do you know yet? Good morning, Evelyn. Let's see. My mom was a huge Elvis fan. When she was in the nursing home for a while, they would have this Elvis guy come in and sing, and she would just sit there and swoon. And then, yeah, she just loved it so much. Yeah. Elvis had good songs, but Frank was cooler. Evelyn, did I get your mail from me? I haven't been. Did you send it to the P.O. box? Because I didn't get anything to our home address. But our P.O. box I haven't checked since Tuesday, I think. Yeah, I haven't been to our P.O. box since Tuesday because ugh. And I won't be able to check that again until Tuesday because everything's closed tomorrow because tomorrow's President's Day. Stacy says Shipshewana is an Amish town for shopping. Chris, Miriam, Sabrina, Mark, and hopefully Joe and Rachel. Oh, that's on Wednesday. That'd be cool. Indy as well. Good, Cindy. Yes, all the events except for our May meetup, I do believe, are on lowcarbevents.com. I need to check with my partners in crime and see when we're going to get that up. I mean, that's not till May the 24th. Yeah. So, Elvis was your first concert? That's pretty awesome. His last concert was here at Market Square Arena, Indianapolis, Indiana. In like 1977 or something like that, wasn't it? I was not born yet. I will check it out and hopefully I can come. It'll be fun. Twin Brook Acres. Rick is in the house. Good morning, Rick. And the other Rick is right here. Sinatra was far better. Bride's Biscuit says Frank's movies were cooler than Elvis's. I never watched much of the movies. Like, old movies just don't seem like movies to me. Like, I've thought about going back and watch all like the old greats and stuff. Like, I mean, I've seen Wizard of Oz, obviously, because I was a kid at one point in time, and then I've seen Gone with the Wind, and I've seen some of those older movies. Like, there's just a lot of that stuff. Like, it just doesn't do it for me. I know I should. Like, so I finally finished watching Suits the other day. Yesterday, to be in fact. To be in fact, it doesn't even make sense, but you know what I mean? So I finally finished watching Suits, and they wrap it all up nice with a bow. But I'm like, what am I going to watch now? So I started digging through like some of the streaming services that we have. And I have no idea what sounds good. Like, nothing tickles my fancy. Because typically something will catch me. There'll be like a little clip of a thing on like a short or something, and I'm like, oh, that looks good. I want to watch that. That's how I started watching Suits, because they were talking like, open the book, any page, and I'll tell you what it says. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. So I got into that show, and then and then there's shows that Shannon and I will watch. We started watching Severance, and we're in the middle of watching School Spirits, but I need to find a show that I can watch when she's not here. Something that I can put on in the morning and watch without her. Let's see. The 524 meetup is in Amo, Indiana, out west. So west of Danville. The reason why we hold it there is because it gives us a venue that's not a restaurant, that allows us to have up to 110 people for, I think it's $100. And then we supply the meat and all that stuff. And then all of you guys come and bring the sides, and then I think we charge $20 or $25. That just covers all the cost of the meat. So we'll probably have to re-look at how much that's going to cost this time, because everything's going up but the wages. And yeah, if we were an AMO resident, it would only cost $25. But our friend Jackie did live, but she lived like a block from being an AMO resident, but still it was $100. But $100 to not have to worry about, paying a big gigantic gratuity and paying all that stuff and trying to be on somebody else's schedule. We basically have it from like 8 a.m. till 9 p.m., but usually we're all out and ready to go by 6. Usually people start getting there at 11:30, 12 Eastern time. And then we just hang out for hours, and there's usually something for some kind of giveaway. You know how it is. Yes, we need Chandra. That's truth. When did you send it, Evelyn? Because like I said, the last time I checked, our P.O. box was Tuesday. And I won't get a chance to check it again until this coming Tuesday. You are so very welcome, Sandy. I mean, he was either cool or fat, depending on when I saw him on TV. I mean, just depending on what clip they were showing. One thing I like is I like going back and watching old Johnny Carson, like old 70s, 60s, and 70s Johnny Carson. I grew up watching it in the 80s when I would spend the night at my grandma's house. That and David Letterman. That makes sense, Rick. That holds up. Old movies, like ones that don't annoy me. That holds up. I watched so people tell me to watch Landman. I watched like a clip of it, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. I mean, I got sucked into watching Yellowstone, and I still had the last season of Yellowstone to watch. or whatever the last half of the last season or whatever just came out recently. I can watch that. I need to get in there and watch that. I mean, anything and everything you guys think is good, let me know. I can get anything. Let's see. She's going to check her calendar and hopefully she can come. That'll be fun. Suits, though, it was just the same thing over and over. Then they would be like, they would wrap it up so quick, you didn't really have an idea of what they just did. It's like, they were like, oh, if we do, oh, yeah, and then it would work. And I'm like, what did you do? I'm not a lawyer, but at least don't blow smoke that much up me. You know what I mean? Like, I got to know something, you know? You were live for almost 5 hours yesterday. I was asleep. I was still sleep. Fargo is good. I need to check that out. And he just looked outside. Snowy, snowy. Chris is here. There's my buddy Chris. How you doing, sir? I hope you and Ash and Melly Mel, are doing good. You guys are probably just like trying to make your coffee and just kind of stumbling out of bed, all bedheaded and barefooted and all that stuff, just like everybody else. We started watching Landman yesterday. I don't know. It seems like it's just a Yellowstone type show. Because Yellowstone went like mob. Like, it was like The Sopranos, but on horses. And it's like every time it's the same thing all the time. It's like TV series, they just kind of jump the shark. Like, I'm still waiting on season 5 of Stranger Things like 9 years later. Cindy, the genius is in the house. I love that. Those push puppies are amazing. You've tried them already? I need to rewatch it and see what the ingredients are. Let's see. Amo, Indiana is what we copied for our meetup in Eaton, Ohio. That's awesome. And it worked out really, really well. I won't be fasting this time, as far as I understand, unless something drastic happens. Patricia says, hey, Chris is here. If somebody donates $1,000, I'll go to Meat Stock. I think that's probably what it would take. I'm like, somebody donated $1,000. I guess I can go to. I mean, I'd have to find a place to stay and like, I can sleep in my car, I guess. But I would love to go to. I'd love to go to the conference and all that stuff. But then there's like the whole cabin experience and hanging out with people. That's what hanging out with the people is what I want. But if somebody were to donate a Meat Stock ticket and money for me to go, I'd be like, I'm on my way. I'm sure that I would be murdered for going to Gatlinburg without my wife. No Meat Stock for us. Me either. It's expensive. I guess I could just go and sleep in the Buc-ee's parking lot. Let's see. Sean Bradley says, we were going to go to Meat Stock, Stacy, but Shell couldn't get the time off that week. That sucks. Quit your job. I mean, you should not listen to me in this chat, by the way. In this live, I may say things that are rash, and do not listen to me. Quit your job. Go to Meat Stock. Quit your job. You know what I mean? See, now this is why Susan and I are best friends. She may not know that we're best friends, but we're best friends. And because she said Susan requested pumpkin sausage soup for today, so I guess I'm making that today. Oh, I need to learn how to make that. but I can't have it yet. I mean, I can do whatever I want. I'm a grown man. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like the conundrum that I'm grown. It's like I can eat cereal every day for breakfast if I want to. I can have cereal for dinner. I can have ice cream, big bowls of ice cream if I want to. But I'm an adult, so I know better. Ugh. Ugh. Why do they have to put that clause into being an adult? You can do all the things you want. It's like being the genie in Aladdin. You know, the Disney movie. Infinite power of the universe. Itty bitty little living space. You know what I mean? Was busy making hotel reservations for lots of our getaways in 2025. Don't forget Ash Taylor in September in Ohio. I'm hoping to get her in Indiana sometime. I want to get her here in Indiana sometime. You know, I just wish I had better. I don't have country connections outside of Chris and Ash. I have. If they were a metal band, I could have them a gig every week. Basically, I'm like, you guys want to play tomorrow? Okay, come on up. But I don't have those. I don't have those. Yeah. It's awful bold of you to think I've stood up out of bed already. Oh, I mean, yeah, I figured, but I giving you the benefit of the doubt, Chris. The benefit of the doubt. It's a perfect day for soup. Yes, yes, indeed it is. I might make something today. We'll see. Just egg, like thick. I don't know. Like I need to figure a way to make like triple B&E thick egg soup with what I have in the house. See, look, even Evelyn, we're like twinsies. Right? They're gonna be 30. They're gonna be like, they're gonna have 5 o'clock shadows and like, yeah. Chris said Cindy made them and she nailed them perfect. You know what? Cindy can do some things right. You know what I mean? Barbara says we've got Ash and Greenville on the calendar. I guess I'm changing my plans for Elkhart. I want to go shopping with everyone. Me too. That sounds fun. I don't have any money, but I'd go and hang out. That's like going to. I would love to go to Disney Springs with Rachel. That would be so much fun. She would just be a joy to be around at Disney Springs because you know that like she would just be so happy to be there, and that's a huge part of Disney because you can go to Disney with people who just don't care to be there, Cindy, and and then like or people like me, you just get there and like you start tearing up like as you walk through Main Street, as you walk around and you can see the castle, or you hear the music and you smell the smells and like just being on the monorail is amazing. I don't understand how people can't just adore Disney through and through like me. You know what I mean? Like that's just amazing. You can ride in boats and like gondolas and those, like and on monorails and all those things. There's all these cool things to do, all these hotels to check out, and all the food. And everybody knows Disney calories don't count. Disney carbs don't count. Cindy says, I printed the hush puppy recipe before even watching the video. I made them last night in bacon grease. Oh, so good. All right, who's bringing those to a meetup for me to try? I got to see what's even in them. I don't even know if I have enough. I don't even know if I have the ingredients to make them. I don't have the ingredients to make the mashed potatoes. Need to figure that out. Steph says I'm going to meet stock, but not staying in the cabin. Yeah, I want to go. I just don't want to be left out of like all the stuff. Oh, those look good, Cindy. Those look so good. Oh man, I think my great grandma would approve because she used to make those for me. Let me show you guys. Look at this. How good does that look? They look like real hush puppies. Oh my goodness. I know it's still in my freezer waiting. I mean, I saw it the other day. I was like, oh. I just need like I need like a never-ending supply. I need like like above like have those pot fillers and above your stove now, then like in the fancy homes. I just need to turn the knob and out comes pumpkin sausage soup. So good. Oh, so good. Let's see. All right, I'll text you when I'm done. When we're done here. Greenville, Ohio. We aren't staying in the cabins either. Hotel at the convention center in Gatlinburg for us. Let's see. We are going to the Ash Taylor Show in Raleigh, North Carolina in August. I'm not. I am not being mean. I'm just teasing you. Kevin, I can't even talk. I have met Kevin Harrington, so my apologies, Karen Harrington. If anybody understands, if anybody knows who Kevin Harrington is, Kevin Harrington was a very close friend of the Beatles. And I've been on a couple live streams with that gentleman. He wrote a book called like something, The Redhead on the Roof. Anybody who's a big Beatles fan knows that when they did that kind of live concert thing they did right before they broke up, there was a gentleman on the roof, a redheaded guy, and he's holding lyrics for John Lennon. And he was very close with George Harrison, even lived in his basically castle. Like when George Harrison bought his castle, Kevin was there with him. And they were talking about how they didn't even have security. Nobody, it was just like they'd hear people crawling across the roof at night. It didn't matter if George was there or not. But basically, they bought the castle was in disrepair and they were basically fixing it up. And so, yeah. So Kevin Harrington is that gentleman. So if anybody's interested in that book, that's a pretty fascinating thing to, he was a very, very close personal friend to the Beatles. And I think that might even be coming out sometime on Audible, I hope, because that'd be something that I would like to listen to, even though I've met him online twice and he's done lives with us and told his story and all that stuff. But yeah. But Karen, thank you for being here, dear. Everybody's saying hello to Karen. Let's see. Hey, Chris. Let's see. Did you talk about biscuits? Biscuits. Sean's asking if those biscuits can be made like Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits. Oh, I bet they could be. Just an obscene amount of garlic and a lot of cheddar cheese. Mm-hmm. Okay, I want recipes to use liquid whey after making yogurt, and I need an amazing Paxiski recipe before Mardi Gras. Okay. I don't know what that is. The donuts you eat. Okay. Beverly's in the house. Good morning, Beverly. It's never too late for this party. Hey, Mr. Genius, says Cindy to Chris. I would really like a donut recipe that is not like cake donuts, but light and airy, kind of like a French cruller. A French cruller recipe would be fun. As long as really has a good French cruller texture, and light and airy and crispy. Shander would be happy about that. She loves French crullers. Sean, oh yes, they can. Let me show you. Cindy says, I'll see what I can think of. Andy says, scariest moment ever. Cream cheese is needed for the soup, and I couldn't find any. Check the cheese drawer. Thank goodness, found a brick. Now, here's a question. How good is cream cheese after the expression or the sell-by date or the expiration date? Is there a smell that cream cheese gets that you should probably avoid? Because I've always got expired cream cheese in our fridge. And again, we keep seeing that commercial watching Shannon and I have been watching Northern Exposure. And there's like this couple and they've got this house and they're like, we just bought this house and we love it. Extra room, spare room, and all that stuff. And it's like, but we've got ants. And then it's like a lady has the fridge open, expired. And it's like another lady's like, that's a wonderful house. Hope you can keep it clean. And I'd be like, and then there's one of the ladies is like knocking on the door, like, it's your Aunt Joni. And I'm like, oh, that's my mom's name. So Pazaski, that's what I'm going with. Are traditional Polish pastry that are similar to donuts, but usually filled with fruit or cream and covered in powdered sugar or icing. Pronunciation, punchki. What about kolaches? Kolaches are delicious. They're like I don't even know what they're like, a puff pastry filled with sausage and cheese. I think it'd be really good to have a kolache filled with like biscuit, like sausage gravy, like biscuits and gravy. Oh yeah. Or turn like a biscuit dough into like stuffed biscuit dough with like, take like frozen sausage gravy, like an ice cube of that, turn that into ice cubes, put it in the middle of the dough and then deep fry it. Oh yeah. I'm fat. I'm always going to be fat. I don't care how skinny I'm going to be ever. I don't know if I'll ever be skinny, but I'm always going to be fat. Does that make sense? I'm a fat man on the inside. Cream cheese never lasts that long. Just thinking about poochkies and I'm gaining weight. Right? When your cream cheese looks like blue cheese, it's probably bad. Good looking out, Sean. Good looking out. Chris, Cindy says, when you get that I'm coming back down, LOL, if not before, as Brian wants to move in. I mean, Brian doesn't make a lot of noise, so you probably wouldn't even know he's there. Probably just mold or dried out. Okay. My grocery list is definitely carnivore now, so nothing expires anymore. Yeah, I can make myself better by eating bad cream cheese. Oh my goodness, you guys are crazy. Chris said, I made kolaches at our bakery back in the day. If I do a carnivore pastry dough, that will be on the menu for sure. That and pizza puffs. Oh yeah, pizza puffs. I don't care about the sweet stuff. I want the savory things. Pizza puffs, like biscuits and gravy, kolaches. You know what I mean? That's what I need. Those are things that I need. Right? That's what I was just thinking, Sean. Yeah, Cindy says, don't forget Wednesday night at 6 is party time, Andy's birthday, and our anniversary. I will do what I can. Hopefully we are not laden with this still, and we are able to take the girl finally to where she's been wanting to go. There's like this children's play place that she's been wanting to go to, but she was sick and then we're sick and she's just been like, I want to go. Poor kid. So if we can take her out, we will do that. But I'll stop by like I always do. Just like last Wednesday, I was thinking, I was like, I need to get up and get on Cindy's live. I need to get up and watch Cindy's live. And then I woke up and it was like 9:00, and I'm like, then I just went back to sleep. I felt so bad, but I could not wake up. Let's see. Kolache is a Slavic term for a variety of traditional baked goods from Central and Eastern Europe. Kolaches are often served during special occasions like Christmas, Easter, weddings, Dozinski. That, but I mean, like, Buc-ee's has kolaches. I don't think I've had them, but they look so good. Yeah, Chris said, "Oh yeah, I did all kinds of savory kolaches for customers. Jalapeno cheddar, artichoke dip were the favorites of customers." I just love savory, like savory, doughy things. Like, I'd always rather had like Hot Pockets or whatever over Pop Tarts. You know what I mean? Rick is asking, "Happy birthday, Andy. 21 finally?" Yeah, right? Karen's asking, "Am I the only one that never liked donuts?" I never much cared for donuts. I mean, not that I wouldn't eat them because, almost every job will bring donuts in, you know what I mean? So, if they were bringing donuts, I probably wouldn't turn one down, but they were always just kind of meh. Mashed potatoes, I grew up poor. So my mom would make the Encore frozen Salisbury steak with 6 Salisbury steaks in it. And it was me, my mom, and my brother. So she'd divvy it up. Each of us got 2. And then we would split the gravy and pour it over our mashed potatoes. So she'd make the box mashed potatoes. And yeah. So that was a dinner for us, and maybe a side of like canned carrots with extra sugar on it. So, that's what she would do. She would do the best she could, you know what I mean? So that was always something. So to me, like, there's something very, very comforting about mashed potatoes. Like, I need to figure out how to take hamburger and make it to the consistency of like, not meatloaf, but like firmer, like I want to make a Salisbury steak type burger patty thing, and then make a nice deep dark thick brown gravy, and then make the Chris Cooker Nashville carnivore mashed potatoes, and then just like die a little bit with happiness. You know what I mean? It's like, just be like, you know what I mean? That's the thing that I think about. Or like for me, like I would mix. I always liked, like, it was never the desserts at like Thanksgiving that I was interested in. I was over there eating mashed potatoes and the stuffing and mixing those together. I mean, I don't know how fat it's a wonder I didn't get fatter than I did, because I was always doing things like mixing, Velveeta shells and cheese with the stovetop stuffing, and then just eating a giant bowl of that deliciousness, because that's what I was into. I mean, yeah, I would eat ice cream and things like that, but that was always an afterthought. It was always the savory foods that I was always really, really into. Everyone used fathead dough to make fruit-filled iced kolache. That sounds good too. Let's see. Cindy says, "This lady in our senior Friday league that keeps bringing sugary treats, either bought or made, then comes to us to remind us there are cupcakes and donuts there." Nope, not for us. Yeah, I just thank you. We'll get to it. Or, that's, thank you, but no thank you. You know? Chris says I have all 3 of those recipes for you. Fat boys are back. You know that will never be whacked. It's like, that was when I was a kid and I started watching MTV. Is like when the Fat Boys were a thing, and like there was you could win a trip with the Fat Boys to go on a boat into the Bermuda Triangle. Like, that stopped being a thing. Like, aliens stopped sinking boats or taking boats. It was just in the 80s, and that's it. Not anymore. Not anymore. You're not gonna. It's safe to go to the Bermuda Triangle now. But when I was a kid, that was the scariest thing in the world. Like Bermuda Triangles, quicksand, and catching on fire because you had to learn to stop, drop, and roll because eventually everybody catches on fire. Everybody catches on fire. Everyone disappears in the Bermuda Triangle, and everybody gets lost in quicksand. That was growing up for me in the 80s. Okay, Sean says, I'm thinking about keto chow strudel now. Strudel. La, 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 la. Cindy says, this past Friday, she brought white chocolate covered pretzels with sprinkles. Oh, pretzels are a weakness for me. Hard pretzels, like pretzel sticks, or like the honey wheat braided pretzels in like French onion dip. Oh. Again, it's always the savory stuff for me. Like I mean, if I'm having like there'll be times where Shanda's like, "Can you get me? Let's have a bad night or whatever," and I'll be walking around the grocery store trying to figure out what I want, and usually come home with a bag of pretzels and some dip. Evelyn says the idea of the poochki is to clean out your pantry of all sugar, lard, and fruit before Lenten season so that you are not tempted. Hence, Fat Tuesday is the day before Ash Wednesday. Yeah, quicksand, totally. Like I should have caught on fire more than once. I should have been in quicksand, and I've never been near the Bermuda Triangle, but still, yeah, the Disorderlies with the Fat Boys. They made good music. I would eat those pretzels. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Andy said she'll be 21 years old on Wednesday. All right. Just me, Maria is here. I made a live, and huge thank you to whoever gifted me a membership. I'm a PharmD student, and funds are tight. Oh, I understand. My friend Jaheel donated 10 memberships on Tuesday. So I will be putting all that together. Normally, I would have had that in the credits for the end of today, but I was sick this week and I did not get a chance to get the credits updated. To thank Jaheel for his 10 gifted memberships, to thank our new members. I added the new members to Tuesday night's live, but I didn't add them to tonight. I added them, but I didn't get it rendered, so I didn't get a chance to get that done because after my live Tuesday, I went to bed and was like for like a week. It was bad. So if you know, you know. Let's see. Yeah, I know, Karen. We passed on those two. I love pretzels, preferable the big soft. Oh, I love the big soft ones too. Like nothing better than like a big old pretzel dog, like with a nice like that golden sticky exterior. It's like that tacky, sticky pretzel exterior with a hot dog in the middle. You dip it into like nacho cheese sauce. Amazing. It sucks because the Walmart that I go to has a pretzel shop in it. So we have a Subway and a pretzel place, and they sell pretzel dogs in there. And so when I'm walking in to grab the cart, and I walk in to go to the restroom, sometimes I'm like right there face to face with those pretzels. And it was hard at first, but I mean it's gotten a lot easier over the years. But still, I love big soft pretzels, and I love crunchy pretzels. Yeah, I've done that too, but I just wanted to make it a little more personal. So like when like it's just at the end of the credits roll, it's coming up and it's saying thank you, and you get to see your name baked into the show. To me, it's like, I'm only charging 99 cents right now for my memberships. And I've been talking for over a year about building up bigger tiers for people who may be interested. But that's the least I can do. And I want to start doing more privatized lives where people can kind of come in and talk who may not be necessarily into being on, with lots and lots of people, but maybe just people you know. So I'll be working on all that, just like I've been saying for a while. For a while. You are so, so very welcome, Maria. Thank you for being here. I truly appreciate you. And and Jeff Fafa says, soft pretzels, you guys are triggering me. No doubt. Like, I'm triggered all the time. So I think for me, like, I'm basically triggered all the time. I turn the TV on, food, scrolling through any kind of social media. There's a lady that goes around central Indiana and like reviews food that I would love to go to do. Like I love Asian food and I love sushi and all that stuff. I just love it all. Thai food, all of it. And she's like, "Oh, go check this out." Or like you see like the gigantic, big, huge, crunchy looking chicken tenders and I need those in my life. I can teach you, but I have to charge. Not really. But you know what I'm saying. I need to figure out how to list members at the end of my videos. You know how to go into YouTube and grab your members, right? Gently, I hope. But yeah, you can grab the list of your members and then you just go into I use DaVinci Resolve and I go in and yeah. I mean, I went in and I grabbed I went in and grabbed a what are they called? The credits. I grabbed a credits thing I got off of a website and it's like a credits plugin thing. And that's what I've been using. You don't need to do that. I'm sure that like even when I think there's probably a what you call it, Daniel Patel DaVinci Resolve for Noobs short on how to create credits. I saw one on how to make them look like Star Wars credits. That was cool. Yeah, I've seen and I've tried different like pretzel recipes and stuff. It never quite come out the way that I want them to. So I'm hoping if it's possible, then Chris, Mr. Chris Cook in Nashville is going to have a way to do it. Yeah, I forget to ask ChatGPT for uh for recipes. I use it to help me build up my build up lives and all that stuff. And I basically sit and I write a couple of paragraphs into ChatGPT, what I'm thinking, what I'm talking about, what's happened to me for the week, and then I just write it out in my own brain thoughts, and then it puts it into basically understandable words for you guys. Because the way my brain works and the way my brain puts things down on paper, I have the ideas, I know what I want to say, but it helps me say it in a cohesive way that everybody can understand that works for social media. So that's how I utilize the chat GPTs. Jeff, you are not alone, my friend. Yeah, anything bread, donuts, pizza, pizza. Pizza, pizza. Even the cheapest $5 rising crust pizza at Walmart is amazing. No matter how bad pizza is still good pizza. The only pizza that I'm not a fan of is like at the front of the Walmart where they have like all those fresh made pizzas that Walmart makes. I don't like that crust. It's like too dense and hard. Like it's not a good texture for crust. Sean says, anyone remember Ben Stiller in Dodgeball when he would smell the food and then smear it all over himself? Yeah, I remember. I just watched Dodgeball not too long ago for Toxic Tuesday. Cindy says, I don't use DaVinci Resolve. Well, you should. You have a MacBook. You have the power. You can do it. I have faith in you. Okay? If you have any questions, you know some people. You know a guy. You know a guy. I can even help you. Or I can make it for you. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta, just communicate with me, talk to me, tell me I'm pretty. You know, you know how it goes. Have you made an ice cream cone yet? Oh, nope. Let's see. I need to, since we have ice cream several times a week. Amy's here. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, friends. Slept in a little. Grandson has been here all weekend. Did I mention they both are under 2? Woo, that's a lot. Our granddaughter is our granddaughter is 6, and she's a handful, and she's here 5 days a week. But yeah, but we did basically here before school, then after school, then she goes home. But I'm glad you get to spend time with your grandkids. That's the best time. And 2 is such a fun age. Chris says ChatGPT gets a C+ for accuracy and final product quality in terms of low carb recipes. Some are good, some don't. Some just don't have the clue. Right. Let's see. Chris says I have a new and easy pizza crust coming this next Saturday. Easy is my friend, Chris. Let's see. I get it. It's not you. LOL. And Karen says pizza and me don't get along. If I make my own, okay, the dough and the pizza sauce gets me. Yeah. Has anybody tried that trick? I saw a thing online the other day where it was like if you add in some some baking soda or whatever to your pizza sauce, that can cut the acidity some. I don't know. What have you guys tried that? What do you guys think? Because I like just like mixing in a little bit of mixing in the my brain is not working, folks. The tomato paste. But I find that like I get the organic tomato paste in bulk from Costco, and it has like too much of like a sweet flavor. I don't know. It doesn't taste. I don't know. I should. Yeah. Right. Easy is my friend too. Yes. That guy needs to come show me. I need to do it hands on with guidance. Ninja Gaiden. I had that game on Nintendo. It was fun. Ninja Gaiden. 5 more days till I get to snuggle my great grandson, who is now 2 months old already. Oh, those little pooper snuggles. Oh, and they're like little toots in your hand, and you're just like, oh, oh my goodness. I miss the little tiny naps. Well, they'd be long, but like you're just sweaty baby naps. You're just like, oh. I miss it. I got up at 5:30 this morning, and I was not happy about it, but I will get to take a nap here in a little while because I'm still not quite where I need to be. Chris, is it a variation of Victor's fathead dough? Let's see. Let's see. Sean says KetoSimple. It's not just a name, it's a way of life. You have hit the nail right on the head, ladies and gentlemen. Sean wins. Sean wins the internet today. Sean, you are winner chicken dinner. Yes. And that's kind of like really what I try to lean into. How can I make this as simple for you as it is for me? And, you know, oh my goodness, 7, 3, and 1. That's a rowdy motley crew you've got going on there. Chris Cook in Nashville. Cindy says, Chris, is it crispy crust that can be eaten with folding over without a fork? Let's see. Chris says, I do baking soda trick regularly. I swear I watch these videos, but my brain doesn't record. And I get on to Shander about that because we'll watch movies. We just had that discussion today. We were talking about watching Tropic Thunder. I never saw that. And then I was like, oh, blah, 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 blah. She goes, oh, I guess I did watch that, but I didn't like it. You know, I think Tropic Thunder had some very, very amazing scenes. And then some meh, like just throw at the wall and see what sticks scenes. But yeah, I need the baking soda trick. Yeah, that's a good one. Stacy says, I have 35 to 40 pounds to lose, and all this food talk is making me gain. You know what? You are gorgeous just the way you are, Stacy. Just the way you are. Let's see. Of course, Cindy. I need a flaky, and I know I'm like asking for the moon here. I need a, I don't even, to me, keto carnivore doesn't matter because I'm not that picky. I'm kind of like, to me, they're interchangeable in my life because I kind of live between both. And I need that Totino's party pizza crust. It's flaky, it's light and crispy, and it has a good flavor because I need Totino's party pizzas, the square ones that used to be like a quarter. And then I was upset when they went to a dollar. Then I was mad when they went to a dollar and a quarter. Now they're like 2 for $5. Pretty soon they're gonna be the same price as DiGiorno. You know? There's my guinea pig. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Thank you for being here, Brian. Thank you for putting up with Cindy. I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot to deal with, and I commend you. You're a saint, my friend. You guys are good together, and I'm glad. You guys are awesome. We use Rayo sauce or use Alfredo. I find that using like Rayo's, it's too watery. I like a thicker, like that's why I kind of like the idea of using you get more flavor with less when it comes to when it comes to the tomato paste. I don't know why my brain is not grasping at tomato paste, but yeah, I I find that that's a better flavor carrier of that what I want without having lots and lots of extra fluid. And I'll mix in seasonings and all that stuff to it, and I might thin it out just a touch, but not much. Sherry says, Karen, I am exactly the same way. I've never liked pizza, and it took me my whole life to figure out it was the pizza sauce and dough together. That's so strange because I mean, and I'm not trying to yuck your yum or whatever the case is, but like there's just something that goes together with bread, garlic, cheese, tomato. Those ingredients together are magical. Because if those didn't exist, I would be a skinny man, probably. Most likely, probably not. But Carl says bay leaves and tomato sauce will neutralize the acidity. It also adds a natural sweet flavor. So good. Evelyn says, I've watched more than half of your cooking videos, Dustin. That reminds me, if you didn't know, I have a lot of cooking videos. I don't even know if they're all in that playlist. But there's at least 92 cooking videos in a playlist on the YouTube. Most people didn't even realize that I had cooking videos. Most of them are relatively simple recipes. Some of them are very early on when I was still trying to do things, like there's a lot of like different types of breadings and things like that. But yeah, there's some garlic bread recipes, simple dinner recipes like what she's talking about here, the frozen veggies to add to stir fries, peppers, onions, sausage. The hardest part is finding a cleanish, low carb sausage because most of the ones you're familiar with, all of those are like 5 carbs for 2 ounces. That's too much. And then the ones that are like 1 carb per ounce or 1 carb or whatever per serving are like $6 versus getting, $2 for the cheaper ones. So weirdly, it's like because Kroger has one all beef like smoked sausage, but it's like $6 or $7. for each one. So I buy that every once in a while. Or it's like all beef hot dogs are so much more expensive. Now, when it comes to hot dogs, as long as it's low carb, hot dogs are kind of one of the dirty exceptions I'm okay with because I like a dirty hot dog. And I don't mean dirt on the floor and get dirt on it, but I like, one that's got the beef and pork and all that stuff all mixed together. I'm not as big a fan as all beef as everybody else. I'm just used to cheap hot dogs. I grew up on the Bar S hot dogs, Eckridge. I like the Oscar Mayer. I typically buy the 2-pack Oscar Mayer because they're like $5 for 2 packs of hot dogs at Walmart. So they're $2.50 a pound. So it's relatively cheap meat. And I can make those when I'm not feeling like making anything else. And, it's like what Dr. Barry and what I say, we all say, you can get there by eating bologna and hot dogs. Have a good time doing it. If that's what you need to do, do it. Sometimes hot dogs just come in clutch. Amy says, Karen, red sauce gets me too, and I end up using garlic butter. Garlic butter is always a winner. Winner. Rico, I thought I had a house full. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah. This month is triple B&E simple. Yeah, I mean, really, I'm just doing burger patties, eggs, but even the eggs have been kind of, because we've been having to go slow with the eggs because every time I go to Costco, they're out. We've got 2.5 dozen eggs left in the fridge, which is not a lot for us. I typically, like, starting off this triple B&E thing, I had 15 or 16 dozen in the fridge. But between me, Chandra, and the girl eats 3 eggs a day, basically. Chandra eats 4. And if I'm eating eggs every day, then I'm eating 6 to 10, depending, sometimes 12, how hungry I am. And now we're down to 2.5 dozen. I have to venture out sometime this week and probably get some more eggs. And it's scary because I don't want to pay a lot. Without folding over. So no floppy crust. She wants a crispity, crunchy, peanut buttery crust, is what she's saying there, Chris. Yeah, it doesn't get much simpler than triple B&E. That's right. Oh, Cindy said this, Sean. Okay. I'm having difficulties here, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I know this isn't triple B&E appropriate, but when I'm not feeling good, I try to do it and sometimes like just the saltiness of actual like the salty electrolytes is too much. Especially when that's all I've had last week. Just need something a little bit less. And Andy says Susan did inventory of our pantry freezer yesterday. Apparently chicken thighs were so cheap one day because we could eat chicken for a month and not run out. That's the way it is. Oh, I know other than meat and salt only, Sean. Pretty sure it can do that. Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to the crust. I'm sure that you'll probably send me some photos, Chris, of what's going on so I can see what's going on. It's like backwards. I got friends in high places. Let's see. I wish I could reach to this computer. Is that what you want? You want to get coughed on? Okay, bring it. Frank is winning. Hooray for Frank. Let's see. I need a sneak peek recipe for the pizza crust. I have made your previous one. I can see Cindy doing to Dustin what Homer used to do to Bart on The Simpsons. Yeah, I can see that too. JJ's in the house. Good morning, JJ, my friend. How are you doing? How are How are you? Oh, goodness gracious. Just when I think I'm getting better, it just starts like have a moment. I'm getting better. I'm better. I'm awake. I'm not in bed. Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you for being here, JJ. Thank you for putting up with this. All this. All of this. So Cindy is anti-fun, and she didn't watch The Simpsons. I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons when I was a kid, but I wanted to watch it. And now as an adult, I could watch it. But I don't. I prefer Bob's Burgers. Bob's Burgers is my jam. You gotta wait till April for more of the new season. Oh my goodness. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I wish this was not so for me and for you because it's not enjoyable for me and it can't be enjoyable for you to sit there and listen to me hack and cough and sniffle and stutter and all that stuff. Oh my goodness. Yeah, JJ says, Chris, I was on the road yesterday. Forgot to comment on that hush puppy recipe. They look yummy. I need to go back and look at it because I put it on and I think I fell asleep with it on. I've been struggle bussing it. You know what I mean? I'm doing the best I can here. Let's see. Cindy, this one is going to be easy. I use my dehydrator for the first part, but then you can use the oven as well. If you have the hush puppy ingredients plus instant yeast, you can do the pizza crust. That sounds good. Oh, that's the jam right there. Some of my fondest memories was my dad frying fish and hush puppies on the back porch after a camping trip. Oh, I love like fried fish. Like fish and chips are one of those things that like that's the thing that's hard. Like if I see and I'm in a place with good fish and chips, it's hard to turn it down. Keto or carnivore or not. It's just one of those things that's hard to turn down. I know if I were to go to London, I'd be eating fish and chips like every day. And Chris said, "Thanks, JJ." Andy's got the point. Roller dogs from the gas station are awesome. Yes, they are. But for some reason, I'll go to the gas station like in the middle of the night. Probably for the better, but they don't have any on. And I'm like, what you got an empty roller here. Why are there no hot dogs? And they used to be like two for $2 or whatever, and I don't think they're that cheap anymore. Cindy's chelling. JJ, I made them last night and they are very good and easy to make. Oh yeah. Oh, Karen is not a hot dog person or a brat person. I love both. I love a good, solid bratwurst, and I love a good hot dog. Sometimes the cheaper, the better. Like for a while, I was really into like the cheap hot dogs you can get from GFS, Gordon Food Service, but they're almost like but they're almost too mushy for a big old fat, big old just massive. I used to get like the big, huge, like the bar S ones, those like half-pound hot dogs or quarter-pound hot dogs or whatever. That and I used to love like that was one of the things about being downtown. We'd go to the bars downtown when I was younger, and we would get the dirty water hot dogs. You know what I mean? JJ's got a point here. Mel wins the award for the coolest hush puppy. That's right. Sherry said, back in the day, I loved making a Sammy with a piece of bread and butter on it for my goulash or spaghetti. I have goulash in the fridge with lupin noodles. Oh my god, so good. I would make ridiculous amounts of garlic toast or garlic bread, and I would basically make like garlic bread spaghetti tacos. Or like, like basically that's what it was. Like if just the garlic bread and paschetti go so good together. Yeah. They are on my CCN YouTube playlist. Sean says, we've been doing baking wrapped hot dogs in the air fryer for dinner a couple nights a week. Shauna would be proud. That sounds delicious. Jay Haggard in the house. Well, Hoggard, I'm sorry. Jay Hoggard in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you? My apologies. I believe you are new here. If you are, let us know a little bit about yourself. Anybody who's new here, let us know what's going on. We appreciate you being here. If you're not new, my apologies. I've been sick all week and my brain is not functioning to its full potential. Or does it ever, really? Cindy will tell you. Andy says, they have 8 dozen eggs in the fridge right now. Y'all's are lifestyles of the rich and famous. Stacy says, Chris, what can be used instead of whey protein in the Hush Puppies? I have everything else to make them to go with our chili today. Let's see. Chris says, yes, this crust is crispy. If you don't bake it as long, it's easy to keep it softer. Either way, it works. Let's see. Evelyn saying good morning to Jay. Thank you for being here. Good morning. Let's see. Cindy says we have 7.5 dozen stocked up at Kroger when they were $3.99 for 18 count. Yeah, I just don't make it over to Kroger that often. Let's see. Stacy says the only other option would be something like beef protein isolate, fine protein powder, not egg white powder though. One kind or another. Yeah, I have protein powder. I got to look and see if it's unflavored or not. I know I was gifted some stuff and I'll see what I've got. I might be able to make some of that. We'll have to see. Karen said we've paid $8 or $9 for 18 count. That's ridiculous. Let's see. Milady Lavalot flexing, got that money, crop of eggs. Whoop, whoop. I got friends in low places. That's right. Friends in low places and high places. Cold, yeah, for sure. But welcome, Travers. Thank you so much for being here, Travers Wolf. I appreciate you. I don't know if I've seen you in here before or not, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Truly appreciate you, my friend. Chris says, pick your lung up off the floor and take a breath, my dude. Right? Yeah. I'm good for the coughing for most of the day, but there's just times it just hits and it's like forever. And then like it just goes and goes and goes, and I'm good for a while. Let's see. People saying good morning to Travers. JJ says, I'm finally past the cough. I hope you get better soon. Yeah, me too. I hope so. I hope we don't just keep passing it back and forth, because then like we'll have the girl tomorrow. And so the thing about that is like the girl goes to one elementary school. Her cousin is at her house all the time, and she goes to a different elementary school. They're both in kindergarten. They both probably don't wash their hands every time they touch their butts or whatever kids do. You know what I mean? They're just gross. And washing their hands doesn't mean anything because they don't understand germs. So they'll wash their hands because they're told to, but they don't understand why it's important. So they're just like very, laissez-faire about it, if you will. They're like, meh, it's okay. It's fine. I touched my butthole. It's okay. You know what I mean? It's fine. I'm going to spread poop everywhere. And then like, it's a perfect tornado of sickness and disease. And then it just keeps coming back over to our house. Stacy says, thanks, Chris. I guess that's a no-go today. I know I have never bought protein powder. I got to look and see what we've got. So I've been gifted stuff, and I don't know what we have. Let's see. Whey protein, any brand in particular. There are tons, and I don't want to screw up the recipe. Yeah, so Cindy's saying, JJ, sorry you weren't feeling good either. Hope you get better. JJ's a teacher, right? So you're kind of inundated with all that nasty stuff all the time. I might be mistaken, but I'm trying to remember things, okay? I'm trying to be here, trying to be present. Let's see. Hey, Andy, I used the Just brand, but the unflavored whey protein that the ingredients work for you should be fine. It's there to absorb moisture, so pretty much all of them will work. Okay. Evelyn, I'll hook you up when you come here. You guys are so nice. The fish and chips in London is second to none. That's when I want to go to London. I want to go, like, my thing is like I want a tourist food, okay? Like I want to go to Philadelphia and I know there's like touristy places to get cheesesteak, and I want to go to Gino's and the place next to it and get cheesesteaks from both, and then go to the place where the locals go, and then they've got soft pretzels. I'm just a fat tourist, okay? That's what I want. I want to eat my way through the cities. And I know that's not good for me, and I'm turning over a new leaf, but like I said, you can take the fat out of the fat guy, but you'll never take the guy out of the whatever you know what I'm trying to say. And it's way more elegant than what's coming out. Okay? So there you go. Dirty little rundown pub had the greatest fish and chips I've ever tasted. And that's what I want. I wonder if they're using soybean and canola oil over there, or what kind of oils they're using. Maybe change now, but I don't know. I wonder what kind of laws they have on cooking oils. Dining like kings, breakfast for dinner, eggs. Instead, she does. All she does is sleep on my couch like a lazy lump, smelling up the house. Hey, you be nice. Let's see, Dustin. I don't like the pizza with tomato sauce, but love garlic toast and bread with the tomato noodle dishes. Yeah, but I mean, it's delicious. It's just so good. Oh. Heath in the house. Hey, yo. Ear hustling since around 8 a.m. Well, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, my friend, for being here. It means the world knowing you're here. You're listening. You're having a good day. Hope you're feeling all right. Let's see. Much like buying gold and silver, eggs are now a precious commodity. And I hate that. We keep 120 to 100 eggs at a time in the fridge. We eat them. The dog eats them. I do recipe experiments. I take out a bank loan to get them each time we go shopping. That's what it feels like. They're asking Chris, where's that crust recipe? I believe that's coming out Saturday. So you have a week to ponder and fret about how to make it. CNC female is here. That's words and communication is difficult. My brain is slow and foggy. But CNC female is in the house. Chris says, not out yet, Sherry. Comes out hopefully 6 days from now. I have to get it edited and approved by a sponsor. If not by this Saturday, it will be the following Saturday. Okay. Everybody's saying hello and hi to Donna. Okay, so CNC female is Donna. Am I correct? I'm trying to keep everybody's name straight, but it's very difficult sometimes when your brain is deep fried mush. Oh, that would be good, Chris. Fried mush. Carnivore mush. Oh, fried potato cakes. I'm never going to be a skinny person. High school geometry. I never learned geometry. I never learned algebra was difficult. Algebra didn't make any sense to me. Math, like I would pay attention, and then I just gave up and I would just start reading in class. I just couldn't do it. Steak and kidney pie in London was also a beautiful experience. One of the best things I've ever had. I would be interested in trying that out. Julie in the Pines is here. Good morning, my friend. Julie's here. Sorry you're sick. I'm sorry too, but thank you for the well wishes, and I'm getting through it. I'm getting through it slowly, but I'm surely. Okay, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. I have no doubts. Let's see. Evelyn, I'm all about the cheese haul and the meat haul at Harrods. Look up the pictures. Keep it keto carnivore. Oh, yeah. All right, Donna. Well, nice to meet you officially, Donna. I know we have moderated together over on Chris's page. Yeah, but I didn't know your name was Donna. I'm really bad with that stuff. My apologies, and glad to meet you. JJ said, I did 12 grocery store mystery shops yesterday, and at half of them I bought the 2 dozen limit of eggs. Average price was 6 to 7 a dozen for pasture raised. I'm okay with the cheap eggs right now because, I wasn't even okay paying, the pasture prices when the pasture prices weren't that bad. I want 49 cents a dozen eggs again, okay? That's what I want. Make eggs 49 cents a dozen again, okay? Let's see. Rick says, I never understood algebra either. I told myself I would not take a job in heavy math, so what did I do? Statistical analysis. That's a good question. That's a good question, Sean. I imagine that's going to be a yes. Let's see. Chris, have you had haggis in Scotland? So yummy. Haggis. I have not had haggis, but I know what it is. I think. Isn't it like intestines stuffed with oats or something like that? Mm. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of got spoiled from them high priced eggs. It's the only thing I splurge on lately. Yeah. See, I have not had the pleasure of visiting Scotland, but I'd love to go and try it. Yeah, me too. Yeah, Donna's a female machinist. My video won't load, but I'm on a desktop now. I don't know. It seems to be working for me and on my live up here. Let's see. Donna says, okay, I'm good. My YouTube sucks. It happens. It happens to me. My live on Tuesday, I didn't even have my camera. My camera stopped working on me. So knock on the wood that I have here, you know what I'm saying? Usually put in stomach sack, but then all the organ meats with heavy spices. Okay, that's probably. I mean, it's probably good, really, really good for you. But yeah, JJ says, as Rachel would say, don't yuck someone else's yum, but that's definitely not a my yum. I would try it. I've tried blood pudding and was not a fan, or blood sausage or whatever. If I'm ever in Scotland, I might try it though. Gotta always try something at least once. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like when in Rome, right? Like when you're somewhere and everybody there likes it, it's probably not as bad as you think it is, or as bad as it would be represented here. And Sean says, awesome, Donna. I'm a tooling engineer and my son is a machinist. That's awesome. Well, that takes the fun out of it. They make fake cooking bags to mimic the stomach sacks these days. I think like the stomach would be the best part. A lot of collagen and all the connective tissues and all that stuff. Chris says I would probably love haggis. I also love blood pudding. I found that a lot of people are eating something. There's usually a reason. Yeah. Donna said, as the eggs comment, y'all, we once had a price war between Walmart and Aldi. At one point, eggs were 12 cents a dozen, no limit. if I had known then. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's amazing. I remember like when oh, I remember being outraged when they went to $5 for 5 dozen. So they were $1 a dozen, and I was mad because they were 3.12 for 5 dozen for a long time at Walmart. The big white box. Because I used to just buy them. I used to just buy the 18 count. I buy 4 of those at a time. So that's basically 6 dozen eggs. But, the white box was cheaper for 5 dozen. And, I mean, we've never not been able to make it through our eggs. So we had blood pudding in Ireland last year. It was really good. It has barley in it. So not keto friendly, but we had to try it. And I think there's something to that. Like, like, and I remember having this kind of discussion years and years ago. There was back in the message board days, there was a message board here, and it was called the Indie Hardcore Board. And it was all about these hardcore bands and hardcore fans of hardcore music in the indie scene had a message board. And I would go on there and people would be talking. There's a lot of like straight edge, vegan type, like people in this board and stuff. And they would be like, I'm traveling to Africa and I'm going to be staying with this family. And I'm worried that I have to break edge, I have to break straight edge and vegan to not be rude to them. Because they're going to offer me things that aren't vegan or, not necessarily straight edge, but they were going to definitely, something that wasn't vegan. And people were like, you could do anything. You don't have to break it. You don't have to break vegan. And it's like, but then you're staying with somebody. They're letting you in their home. And they're offering you what little they have. They don't have a lot to offer, but what they have, they're offering you. And for you to go, well, I don't eat that because you're saying I'm better than you because I live in such a highfalutin society that I don't have to eat that because I'm better than you. And I know that's not what we're talking about here, but that's how I always felt about it in that context with the hardcore, with the vegan and, and I think like there's a little bit of that. I think when it comes to the ketogenic lifestyle, it is more health based. And I think there is some health based, people that truly look at veganism as healthy as they can get because of all the information that we've been pushed along the last 100 years. But at the same time, when you're looking at us in the ketogenic carnivore, all of our scenarios or all of our, groups and communities here, if I go to another country and their country dish of origin or whatever isn't a keto dish, why wouldn't I try it? I mean, it wasn't one meal that made me 400 pounds. It wasn't me eating on vacation that made me 400 pounds. I have to look at my life, and my life is more than the sum of my ketogenic lifestyle. It is a lifestyle, so it is a bulk of what I consume, and that's fine. But it's not the entirety of me. And so when I travel and I go to new cities and new places, and hopefully someday we get to go to other countries and see new cultures and try new things. Like if I go to Italy and I'm in a place where they have like a 1,000-year-old brick oven, they're making pizzas. You think I'm not going to have a pizza in a 1,000-year-old brick oven, or however it is, 500-year-old brick oven or something? That's insane. Like to me, like going out and exploring and living life. I mean, yeah, you be keto as much as you can because it is a lifestyle. It is health related, and I need to stay as on track as I can. But at the same time, like if I go to another country and there's some barley in something, I mean, I may not want to try it, but I might want to try it. And I know that like there's a thing that'll go like that when it comes to things like I want to go to Geno's and I want to eat two different cheesesteaks. Is that good for me? No. But it's almost impossible to get an authentic Philly cheesesteak here in Indiana. Anyway, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Let's take a look and see what's going on here. Evelyn says, I love blood sausage and blood pudding. I liked haggis so much that I had it several different ways when I was there. Haggis, shepherd pie was amazing. Shepherd's pie is pretty good too. I mean, really, mashed potatoes, cheese, you know, hamburger, delicious. Let's see. If anyone ever had a problem cooking through their eggs, they can crack them into an ice cube tray and freeze them, then throw into a bag. Just have them as that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good. Brian says, fisherman dish. Is there someone in the PGH area that bought fertilized eggs and hatch a few now that are free? I don't know what PGH is. Do you know what area is that? Donna says, I freeze butter, cottage cheese, cream cheese, real cheese, yogurt, sour cream. It just isn't going to be smooth anymore, so watch the presentation. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good to know. Donna, thank you so much. $10 super chat. Thank you so very much. That means the world to me. It truly does. Thanks for all your Sunday morning live videos, Dustin. I'm starting to really look forward to them. Well, thank you. They've become a huge part of my life. I look forward to them. Even when I get up in the morning, and it's like 5:30 and I'm tired and I'm groggy. And I know that I have to wait till 7:30 to start drinking my coffee because I start drinking my coffee with you guys. And I'm excited to talk with all of you guys. Show up and you hang out with me. And you do me a great service with these Sunday lives. You show up and you hang out with me and you help me build this community. I can't do it on my own. It takes all of you to do the amazing things that we are doing right now. You know, me and Chris and Victor and Stacy and Donna and Christian DeLorme is in here. Mr. Christian DeLorme is here all the way from Canada as well. And new people that I'm not familiar with. And, you know, the people who are coming in for the first time or maybe been here watching and, you know, not just now starting to chat. So I know there's a lot of people watching over on Twitter. If you're watching on Twitter, come over and say hello on the YouTube side. We'd love to hear from you. Love to hear your story. Talk with us. Have some coffee. How do you like your coffee? There's still a poll going right up here. There's a poll going on. Who's cooler, Frank Sinatra or Elvis? But thank you, Donna. Truly appreciate you so very much. Stacy says, we water glass lots of eggs when they were plentiful, knowing our chickens take the winter off. So we are blessed to have dozens in the closet. That's amazing. That's something that I need to start looking at is water glassing eggs. So tell me, when you open them and pull them out, is there any differences? Is there any consistency differences, any smell differences, taste differences? And I know they can be kept for like, I don't know, maybe indefinitely almost, but I know at least a year, right? I'm not sure. Fill us in, Stacy. Fill us in on that water glassing. Donna said to Stacy, lots of people don't water glass anymore. We have lost the ability to preserve food as a country. And I mean, there's a convenience issue because you have to have fresh, unwashed eggs to water glass. And for most people, the average person finding fresh, unwashed eggs is very difficult because we are a society that washes eggs. We're one of the few societies in the modern world that refrigerates eggs because we wash them, so they have to be refrigerated. Which, when I first found that out, that tripped me out. So, like, what do you mean you don't keep your eggs in the refrigerator? What? It sounds insane, but it's not. Like, we're one of the very, very few countries that does that. Maybe the only country that does that. I don't know. Christian DeLorme, I said, is here. Hello, Christian. Thank you so much for being here. I truly, truly appreciate you, my friend. I am glad you are here. And Chris says, I don't ever want to be obsessed about diet to the exclusion of the human experience of the world. I get one shot at life. I want to live it 1000%. I couldn't have said it better, my friend. Thank you. Thank you with that, because that helps us not live in the crazy. Because, yes, 99% of this life, we should be very conscious of what we're eating, making the best choices we can make for ourselves. But most of us aren't traveling that much. We're not going to Disney World every year. We're not going to, a lot of us do go on vacations at least once a year, sort of. We didn't get to go on a real vacation last year. I mean, we went up north for a wedding for a week, but it was still kind of like, I mean, it was Wisconsin in the middle in like the end of summer. I mean, it was like it was okay. I mean, but it wasn't vacation. It wasn't like we were at the beach or we're at Disney or in the mountains or anything like that. I mean, we typically go to Wisconsin at least once or twice a year anyway. But it wasn't a vacation. We did have a house and we stayed there and it was nice and all that stuff. But yeah. JJ says there's a po' boy shop in town my wife is from that has a Cajun version of a Philly cheesesteak. It's called the Ragin' Cajun, and it's so good. That sounds amazing. I want to be able to go down and get some like sloppy po' boy from Louisiana, or get like authentic gumbo, or just like I want to go down and just get like alligator something. You know what I mean? I just want to try, like you go deep enough in the South, there's like shrimp and grits. I mean, there's just so much good food out there. That doesn't mean you eat it all the time. And life experiences, this is like, we only get the one shot as far as we know. We don't know. We don't know what we don't know. But as far as we know, we get one shot. And that means stopping to smell the roses, stopping to do something silly with your grandkids, spending as much time with them as you can, laughing with your spouse, being goofy, just living life to the most and utmost fullest you can, while still maintaining a semblance of balance and maintaining your health as best and as long as you can, eating and being sustainable to be as healthy as you can. Because I never advocate cheating or eating what you want when you're out and about if you can't handle that. If going out and having, a sandwich or some pizza on vacation is going to lead to you a 3, 4, 5, 6 month bender, then don't. That's one of the main reasons I think getting to understand who you are, what makes you tick, what triggers you, why did you gain the weight? It's not carbs in of itself. There's a lot of reasons. Because yes, carbs will slowly creep in and we become addicted to our carbohydrates, but they impact us all a little bit differently. How do they impact you? How did you get here? Was there emotional trauma? Is there emotional baggage? Is there unresolved emotional issues, eating issues, things that trigger you that you don't even realize? You have to get to know yourself. And that was one of the main things that I did try to do when I started this journey, is getting to better understand myself, because going into this, I had to understand my hunger issues, my food addiction issues, and I knew I couldn't work on food addiction and changing the way I ate at the same time. So what did I do? And I don't recommend this for everybody, but I'm saying this is what I did. I utilized my understanding of my own food addiction to leverage the way I was changing with changing how I was eating. So I would pack lunches that were oversized because I knew I had food addiction issues. So I would make sure that I was packing more food than I would need, just in case something came along in my day to try to derail me. I had more of that was what I needed to eat versus something that would come along in an office setting that I didn't need to eat. Because you never know when they're going to be like, oh, we brought pizza, everybody. You never knew. You never knew they were going to bring pizza or donuts or things that you might like or whatever. You never knew what they were going to bring in. Cake for someone's birthday. I've worked in office settings where it was like almost somebody's birthday every other day. Giant sheet cakes. You know, and sometimes you're just like, cake sounds good. Most of the time you're fine. But sometimes in the very beginning, I was packing, sometimes, 8, 10, 12 boiled eggs. Big Ziploc bag full of pepperonis and lunch meat and string cheese and dipping salt. I would bring containers of mustard. So I made sure I had more than enough food to satisfy what I should be eating, but had enough in reserves just in case I needed to stress eat about something that I couldn't control. Now, again, I said that's not something that I recommend for everybody, but you have to understand yourself. And I was lucky enough to realize early on starting my ketogenic lifestyle that I had food addiction issues, food quantity issues. I would avoid restaurants that I didn't feel gave me enough food for the money. And I think that's still a valid point now. Why do I want to go to a restaurant that's going to charge me $18 for a burger patty? Because I'm not getting the bun and the fries, but they're going to charge me the same as if they did. I just won't go. But it just takes a level of understanding of who you are. And that's a journey in of itself. Okay, Pittsburgh. Okay, PhD is Pittsburgh. Okay. I'm 6 hours away from Pittsburgh. So unfortunately, I am not a resource. But if anybody's in if anybody's in that area and they can help Brian out, please do so. I would appreciate that very much. Because we're all looking for what we need. So let's see. Sherry, I will be taking a nap later. I woke up at 5 a.m. I understand that. I woke up at 5:30 Eastern. I'll be taking a nap in a little bit. Let's see. Big Belly Bob's in the house. My good friend Bob. How are you doing, my friend? He says, good morning, Keto and Chat. I'm thankful, very thankful that you're here, my friend. Glad to see you. Let's see. So Donna grew up Amish. That's very fascinating. I grew up Amish and learned all of that. Well, I didn't freeze dry, but my cousin does. That's interesting. Unwashed eggs don't need to be refrigerated, but that also means we can ship them all over the place by truck because we do wash them. As a country, we can share our food across miles easier. Yeah. I mean, it's bigger. JJ says, I remember my grandfather leaving her eggs on the kitchen counter growing up. Yeah, that would be cool. Paul is here. Good morning, Paul McGrogan. How are you doing? Good to see you. I don't know if I've seen you here before. If I have, my apologies, but thank you so much for being here. Truly appreciate you. Christian DeLorme with a $2 Canadian. Canada washes eggs too. Well, that's okay. Yeah, so we're not the only weird ones here. Fascinating. Okay. Donna's talking about a freeze dryer. Cat rescue friend locally bought a freeze dryer. They've been drying everything. It's fun to watch. Donna said, another friend is Mormon religion, and she has access to a lot of food storage items, but nearly nothing I can consume. Oh, yeah. Stacy says, we leave our fresh, unwashed eggs on the counter. Quails are productive in the garage all winter. Okay. How many quail eggs? Do you eat quail eggs like you do, like You make little over easy quail eggs or just like little sunny side up quail eggs. Hungry He says, speaking about vacations, only 20 days until the Hungry Horde meetup. I'm so excited for that. To meet you and Shelly and see a lot of friendly, fun, smiling, happy faces in Columbus, Ohio on March the 8th. If you are curious, please go over to lowcarbevents.com and find out more, because I would love to see your faces. If you're in and around the Columbus area, I would love to hang out with you. There is a link to a sign-up sheet to make sure we don't overbook ourselves and overfull the venue so they don't get angry. So sign up, make sure that there's a spot for you. But I am super glad to be going to this and meeting Hungry Heath and his wife, Shelly. I've been following them for a good amount of time, and it's always fun to get hugs from new people. I'm excited about it. Evelyn says, my dilemma is if I indulge on vacation, I will be sick for the rest of my vacation. I'm not eating this way to be skinny, but for health. I'm worried about indulging. Yeah, 100%. And that goes along again with just understanding your why. You know, my why is to find overall health in for the long term. And in the very beginning, I would not have done things like that. But we've been doing this almost 9 years, and I think there's things that I will and won't indulge in. I am more choosy and picky these days. I don't just give in to any and everything anymore. I mean, there are days, and I have struggles like everybody else. But but there are certain things that I look forward to, like when we go to Disney World, I like to have a Dole Whip or, whatever, right? I just love pizza. Anytime I can have real pizza, I'm in. Chris says, I have to say, my carnivore shrimp and grits might be worth the drive. You know what, Chris? I'm working on that. I'm trying to raise money so I can make it out there for April, because I know in April, I don't know the exact date. We'll have to find out. I don't know if she's even announced the exact date, but I know there's going to be another Q&A meetup in April down in Dixon. And I watched some of Nisha's little vlog of them going to pick out their greenhouse and going to pick out all the new stuff. And they were in Dixon doing that. And I'm like, Dixon's a cool little town. And it's a lot of fun. It's kind of cool to see Dr. Barry go in front of a crowd who don't know him as Dr. Barry. And I don't know how well they knew who he was, or if they followed on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, or how well they knew who he was. But it was kind of neat seeing him in that setting. And I know Chris and Ash would agree with me on that. And it's always wonderful to see Amanda. Amanda's such a sweetheart. And she does amazing things down there in Dixon. So, Yeah. JJ says, okay, now we need a keto carnivore shrimp and grits. I think there is one. Let's see. Cindy says, you have Goofy down to perfection. Well, thank you. I take that as a very big compliment. 100% a compliment. 125%. Let's see. Donna says, I need to have a rich man leave me a few million so I have time to sit home and try cooking all these recipes that I find from everyone. If only I was rich instead of beautiful. Right? I'm good looking and poor. I can't even say that with a straight face. I tried. I gave it the good old college try. Oh my goodness. Stacy says, water glass eggs are a bit runnier, but flavor is the same. I use them for everything except like sunny side up. Okay. Yeah, JJ, he's already got it. Somebody put that recipe in the comments. And share Chris's channel. Not like anybody here needs it, but any of the new people. If you're over there on Twitter, go follow Chris Cook in Nashville. You won't be sorry. And JJ says, my wife tried making cauliflower mashed potatoes for me once. It had the consistency of grits. I remember the first time I tried cauliflower mash. It was good. It was very good. I liked it. But it was one of the first times I'd had cauliflower in I don't know how many years. Probably 15, 20 years at the time. And my gut biome was not prepared. That was some of the most painful, noisy, just bloating. It was just bad. And I mean, we then went on and made it more and more and more because it became a staple, that or, having, I like my broccoli cooked almost into a mash. Extra buttery, a little garlic, delicious to me. But yeah, I remember the first time having that on keto and I was like, my body was not thrilled. Chris has already did them. They're on my channel for you. We'll get that. We'll get that link up in the chat for everybody. Cindy needs a rich man. I need a rich man. I mean, come on now. I'm not picky. Rich man, rich woman, I don't care. I don't want to have to do dishes anymore. You know what I mean? Let's see. All the great recipes and not enough time to make them, not enough time to eat them. Andy, there's food in the break room. Chris says people have to realize the psychological and physiological and psychological addictions aren't the same. If you have the issue, you can't trade the psychological one by just being strict with a diet. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, you just got to have, I mean, luckily I understood early on to use one to help me with the other. That's like utilizing, understanding strengths and weaknesses, and how can you leverage your strengths to overcome your weaknesses? There's a lot of things like, there's a lot of, I don't like being forgetful. I don't like forgetting things. So if I tell you something, I'm not going to lie to you because I'm not going to remember the lie. So I'm going to do my very best to be as honest with you, or as honest as, okay, everything I say is as honest as it is to me the time I say it to you. It's as true to myself as I can be when I say something. I don't pull punches, because if, 10 years later, like, you said this, and I'm like, well, it was true when I told you. It may not be true, but it was true as far as I understood. That's how that's just how I do things. Like, I don't pull any punches. I'm terrible at keeping secrets. I want to, like, that's going to be like, I don't understand how Chris can do some of it sometimes. I'm like, maybe like, I got this recipe. I've been working on it for 9 years. And like, how'd you not tell us? How are you not like, hey, you guys? You know what I mean? It's like, I got this cool recipe, and it'll pop out of nowhere. I'm like, how did you, what? No. How do you keep that a secret? No, I mean, truth be told, now he has Victor and me. And he does send little pictures of things from time to time, and he does talk about stuff, and he and I talk about things, and I'm like, that, what sounds good? This would sound good. And he goes, you know what? I've been kind of working on something like that. You know what I mean? And we talk. So, I mean, it kind of gets that out of the way. But I mean, like, yeah, I don't even know where I'm going with that. He says, I did the same thing when I was working construction because it works. Because, I mean, if you just need to be prepared, it's like, I'm a prepared person. Like, when I go to work, I take a backpack. That backpack's got extra boxers, extra shirt, some socks. Because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when you do something like poop yourself. If you're in a car for 12 hours and you may be in the middle of nowhere, and I drive in the middle of nowhere a lot. You know what I mean? I'm bearing extra beverages. Usually having an energy drink or two in my bag. You never know when you're going to need something. Carry a pocket knife or two. Other things that I carry on a regular basis because I can in my state. Because being prepared is something that I try to do, because you never know what's coming. So, that's why, like, how can I be prepared when it comes to food? If I'm in like it's easy working from home because, I mean, there's a downside to working from home too, because when you're home all the time, trying to be like OMAD or, a very limited eating window and you're always in your house and you're always near your pantry and you're always near your fridge. I mean, it's hard to stay busy enough and distracted enough that doesn't come into play. So I would just not take food to work at a certain point because I was in a fasting window that I wanted to keep. So I wouldn't eat until I got home because that way I could have dinner with the kids and Chandra and everything, because I didn't want to have my one meal a day at work and then I get home and not be able to have that one meal with the family to sit there like a weirdo. Donna says, Chris, I've discovered that lately I take more food than I need, like Dustin, but it's mostly in my head. I've been trying to readjust my eating criteria and eating less. And that's something that you can work on over time. It doesn't need to be a stressful situation, because I found that as I stayed on the eating plan, I relearned what satiety was. I was no longer requiring myself to eat to the point of being completely stuffed. My body was just like, we're good. But that takes time. And that's one thing that I worry about a lot of people who begin and they start, well, I'm just going to only eat, like the 1800 calories because that's what, that's what this food tracker says I should be having. I should only be having this amount of protein and this amount of fat and this amount of carbs. And yeah, I mean, you want to keep his carbs as low as you humanly can. But I think we do ourselves a giant disservice by not kind of allowing ourselves to naturally relearn satiety and trying to force satiety on ourselves, because I don't think that works, and that's going to have a backfiring effect. And I think the way that I did it, and like I stumbled upon it, I got lucky. There's not a lot of things in life I think you get lucky with, and I think that was one that I got lucky with because I didn't know anything. I didn't know any better. There wasn't anything I could read about. There was nothing in any literature or I didn't see any lectures on low carb down under about that. And I was deep into that stuff, especially in the very beginning, because I wanted to learn as much as I could to make sure I was doing the best that I could and doing everything that I could do for myself to find success. But I also knew that I had an eating problem. I didn't really come to terms with acknowledging openly about my eating problem until later. But I was self-aware enough that I knew that I had that eating problem in the beginning. Whether I had the words to articulate that is a whole other story. Donna says, I'm about 90 minutes from Pittsburgh, but I get lost in that place. Never have gone and never gotten lost as I get all out. Of course, that's before GPS. Okay. I haven't been to Pittsburgh since a long time ago. I went to a Penguins game. I think it was Penguins and the New Jersey Devils. And we were supposed to spend 2 nights in Pittsburgh. We were supposed to see 2 Pittsburgh games, 2 Penguins games. And we were talking about going to see Clutch in Pittsburgh. Clutch is one of my all-time favorite bands live. I've seen them 26 times. But yeah. And he says, making the soup, putting in the pumpkin as you talk. Yummy. Well, that sounds delicious. And I'm so very jelly. So very jelly. Evelyn's mom was born in Crafton Heights, Pittsburgh. Sweet. Andy says, Susan sent you a buy me a coffee. Well, that is so sweet. Give her a big hug and a smooch for me, but not one of those smooches. Just one that I would give. Let's see. Well, if you are thinking about it, eggs sit in the nest until collected and are not refrigerated. Yeah, but it's still not something you think about. Yes. Columbus, Ohio, March 8th. So take a look with and lowcarbevents.com. I will be there. A lot of people are going to be there. I know there's limited capacity, and there is a link. I believe the link is in the low carb events page. You can click the link and sign up to make sure that you have a spot if you are so interested. Christian Delorme says, we are Catholic. We eat chocolate eggs on Easter. Oh, sounds good. Big Belly Bob says, the work office gets me eating even more. We take clients to Golden Corral every Monday, and they get catered lunch every day. Oh, my goodness. That's such a minefield. He says, looking forward to finally meeting you. Make sure to remind me to wear deodorant. Cindy and Brian will be there on March 8th. Sean put the Hungry Heath YouTube link in here. That's perfect. Evelyn just bought pineapple skinny syrup to make keto Dole Whip in my creamy. Woo woo. Chris said they'll follow up with Dr. Barry and Nisha and see if they have a date set. Yes. I know they're doing it like 4 times a year. So if April doesn't work out, then we will go for like whatever, June, July, and then later. And then I know that she's doing low carb for better health. Maybe we can try doing that. I don't know if we want to get up an hour and drive an hour. You guys would be on tour. I'm just saying, making plans for you guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how that'll work out or what, if you guys would even be interested in going to low carb for better health. It was fun 2 years ago. This is 2-day event now. Yeah, and Hungry Heath will be live on his YouTube channel today at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm usually just like waking up from a nap when that comes on. Like, oh, time to watch Wapner. Brian says, pH is different due to the land, and we don't have roads set up on a grid. Yeah, we did, like in Indianapolis is kind of set up on a grid at some points, but then it just doesn't make any sense. Cincinnati is the same way. Cincinnati is very confusing. Yeah, Hungry Heath hosts the Friday Night Feast. Yeah, Chris said, seeing Dr. Barry just be a doctor helping people rather than fielding questions from fans constantly is cool. Shows how good he actually is at what he does. Amanda too. Yeah, it was cool watching them field different questions because there was an actual female component. Being able to answer specific female related questions. Not that Dr. Barry couldn't handle it, but it's nice to know that there's a female there to handle those questions. Feast, Sean, feast. Yep. Autocorrect is a mug, right? Here's the grits video. Let's see. Here's his channel, I think. I'm not sure if that's the video or the channel. He says, this Saturday is my 6-year ketoversary, and I still struggle with bread. It is hard for me to turn away pizza, burgers, and tacos. Yeah, and it never quite goes all the way away. It becomes easier. Like sweets to me don't bother me. Like, I can walk down the cookie aisle and not stress out like I did in the very beginning. I would just yearn and like just that desperate feel like I need Oreos. The addiction runs deep. And things that you're used to, things that you like. It's not always so much of an addiction. There's an addiction component, but there's things, we just get used to. We like them. We may not like the addiction kind of covers up how that makes you feel in the long run. But I think Oreos taste good. You know what I mean? Rick would disagree. And there's some people out here probably don't like Oreos all that much, but Oreos taste good. They're designed to taste good. The manufacturer has a goal, make a product that people like and will purchase over and over again. They succeeded. I don't necessarily think that that's a nefarious thing because Hydrox cookies and stuff were around before Oreos, not very long before Oreos, but we're talking, the turn of the century. Early on, there was Hydrox, and then Oreo stole kind of the Hydrox, you know, thunder or whatever, But I mean, we've been making desserts for thousands of years because we enjoy it. We celebrate with food. It's not new to us. Controlling ourselves because we're consistently inundated with the sheer volume and choice is new, because you can have 3 grocery stores right in a triangle a block apart that are filled to the brim with all the things that you don't need but you want because it's delicious. You know, it just is. And that's amazing, and congratulations on coming up on 6 years. We're coming up on 9, and I'm still not skinny yet. So, I mean, there's that whole thing, and Chris and I are gonna get matching moo-moos, you know. Sean says, yesterday was my 5th year ketoversary. Well, congratulations, Chris. Sean. Everybody give Sean a round of applause. Fantastic. I'm so proud of you. I'm glad to know you. I'm glad that you're here in our community. And I'm glad that you are 5 years strong. That's amazing. Shrimp and grits recipe. Cauliflower is good as cauliflower. It does not trick me. I do not find it as a sub for anything. I mean, the mash is pretty good. Some garlic, some cheese. Delicious. I reject your reality and substitute my own. Yes, happy 5 years. Yeah, Chris says, I love to torture Dustin and Victor with previews of all my upcoming recipes. Then I've got to wait to see the recipe. Yes, Chris is a food wizard. People telling Heath, happy 6th ketoversary. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, if you haven't pooped yourself at least once or even trying to eat right, I mean, sometimes you just really can't trust a fart. And that's okay. That's okay. I mean, I had some friends that were in a band years ago, and the band was called About the Fire. And I love that band. They had 2 records. Fantastic band. Loved them. Got to see them live a whole lot. And a couple of members are gone now. The 2 members in this story are 2 members that are gone. And I remember the bass player, his name is Jeremy. We called him Worm. His nickname was Worm. So I went he worked at a record store, Karma record store. And I walked in and I was talking to him. I'm like, they were getting ready to go on tour. And I was like, watch out, because Bob is going to shit himself. And he laughed at me. He's like, okay. And I was like, no, I'm serious. And then and then I was, after the tour, we were all in the same place. And I was like, so Jeremy, what happened? And, and he looks over at me and Bob goes, I shit myself. That wasn't food related. That was because they were alcoholics. But I mean, not to be demeaning, but I loved that band, and I loved Bob, and Worm was one of the nicest people I ever met. And, it's just, I've been lucky enough to know a lot of amazing people. Musicians, not musician people, lots and lots of musicians. But About the Fire was one of those bands. I worked with their vocalist for a while, and he was an amazing guy. He's still around, but I don't talk to him very much. He's not around on social media much anymore, so I don't get to see him that often. And yeah, I've been very lucky in my life, be around a lot of awesome, influential, talented people. And I'm still lucky today with you, Chris, and all of you wonderful people in this community. You guys just make my life so much better. With the super chats, being here every Sunday morning, waiting, usually chatting away a half hour before I start. Right now, between all 3 platforms that I'm streaming to, there are 84 of you watching. And that's significant to me. That's not lost on me. Whether I ever get to a point where there's 1,000 people or 10,000 people or whatever it is, you 84 people mean the world to me. And every day, it seems like every Sunday we get new people, and all of you come back, and you're generous with your time, your donations, your love, your compassion, and all that you do for this community and for me. And I just want you guys to know that that is not lost on me, or hopefully it's not lost on all of you, how amazing each and every one of you are. Because what we're trying to do with this community, grow it so we can support and help as many people who are struggling with their health and struggling to live a normal, quote unquote, normal life, is what we're trying to do. And it's not easy. There's a lot of pressure out there. There's a lot of miscommunications. There's a lot of misinformation. A lot of infighting, even within our own group. Carnivore's better. Whatever. And I want people to know that whether you're carnivore, keto, ketovore, vegan, paleo, I don't care what you're doing, or you're a Mediterranean person. Do what you think you need to do, what you need to do for you to make your situation work and be sustainable for you. Don't let any of us tell you that you're doing it wrong unless you're asking us to do so. If you're asking for our opinion on what you're doing, then, we'll be open, honest, sincere, but hopefully we won't be mean and nasty about it. And I'm very thankful that in this chat, we hardly see any mean and nasty things, because I won't stand for it. And I've got a whole team of moderators out there who won't stand for it either. You guys are amazing, and you guys do huge service. Thankfully, we're not very big yet to where we're not seeing a lot of that mess. Yeah, he says I used to carry what I coined a go bag. Yeah, go bag. Just, you need stuff. He says I fast every day. That's why my first meal is called break fast. Sherry says, I have never pooped myself. Well, the time will soon come. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And it's not a thing to be that, embarrassed about. It's embarrassing, but it comes for us all. All the snow. He says, I also found that if I do not meat heavy meals at least 3 times a day, it really impacts my MS. Okay. Chris says, the issue I see, everyone wants to immediate results, and they want to go over the top deep into with no transition, and they stress out and fail trying to be perfect. Yeah, that's the thing, is you just have to be you. You have to learn who you are and be you, incorporating this lifestyle and make it structured to fit you. Otherwise, it won't work, because you aren't that influencer. You aren't the person you saw who lost everything in 3 months. I've been doing this almost 9 years, and I had to fit me, and I'm totally okay with it taking this long. I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. And I've known that since about the about the first month that I knew that this was going to be the thing that I was doing forever. Sean says, well, the experts say you should eat until you're comfortably full. You have to bring enough food to ensure you're stuffed. So you have to overpack going to work. Well, that's the thing is like if you are a food addict and you haven't yet learned satiety and you only eat to where, you're only eating to what you think you should eat, you're not handling the issues there. And I know there's probably people who are screaming at the screen right now saying that, that's the wrong way to handle it. Well, I handle it the way I did, and I found myself successful. And I was drinking a ridiculous amount of fat in my coffee every day. Like 1,100 calorie coffee, like this big, every day. Paramount for me. Donna says, it's hard to not eat at breakfast when I get to work. I eat first break, lunch, second break, and then I get home, dinner, before bed, and I eat lots of food if I don't pay attention. I need to fix my work food times. Yeah, I mean, my whole thing was I made my food packing going to work as easy as possible. I didn't want to meal prep. And I know that there's a whole thing online about meal prepping and it being like what is it called? That whole like thing where like they tap on things and like, look at this, and this is how everything's all neat and stacked, and it all looks good in the fridge, and I just take one each day. Yeah, whatever. That wasn't me. I wasn't doing it. It's Ziploc bags in the bag into a Walmart bag, and off I went. He says it's fun. You're missing out. It's fun, especially when in public. Chris says, the mindset is why people saying your recipe will flare my addiction is overlooking psychology. There's an outlook that needs work, and maybe therapy has nothing to do with the recipe. Yeah. And I say that as someone who has that issue, I have to be aware of. Yeah, lots of us have that issue, and it's because of the food system. We're at a very big disadvantage. I forgot I brought stuff to make pumpkin sausage soup. I need to get some peppers today and make it this week. Oh, that sounds delicious. That's what Andy's making. Yes. Penguins. Blech. Shell and I are big Washington Caps fans. Hated rivals are the Penguins. I remember sitting in a chair watching a Penguins game at a bar one time, and Shatan skates by, and I'm like, I still never got I still need to get a Shatan jersey or something. That was the coolest name ever. If you know, you know. I'm not spelling it out. Tina Frost is here. Royal Feast Pizza King, real pizza. Yeah, that's just one of those things. Like, I mean, we have Pizza Kings in our area, and I do like Pizza King. And we went to Pizza King and tried their crustless pizza, and we also tried their cauliflower crust pizza. But their cauliflower crust pizza had like rice flour and all this other stuff in it, so it wasn't really. It was cauliflower in name, but it wasn't low carb by any stretch of the imagination. Evelyn says, in high stress situation, the food noise is too much. I've been having a very stressful year at work, so I added breakfast back in to stay satiated so I don't indulge in the break room. Fantastic. Understanding your circumstances, making necessary changes to overcome those obstacles is growth. And I'm very proud of you. Hope that doesn't sound condescending because it really didn't mean it to be. And he says, it's all done and we're eating the soup. Oh, yeah, eat that soup. Yeah, no thanks. Nobody wants it to happen, but it might. Not might, it will. And it's okay. Embrace it. Good morning to Tina. Let's see. Here's the link to the Google Docs, the forms. If you are anticipating going to the October 8th meetup, there's the link to the forms to fill that out. Tina says, isn't that near Sonic Temple Festival? I'm not sure where Sonic Temple is. They all sound the same. So I can't keep track of which city each of those. There's like a festival in Cincinnati. There's one in like Louisville. There's one in Ohio. They're all over the place, and I can't keep them straight. I just know that I don't want to go to a 3-day festival with 400 bands and 900-degree weather. That sounds awful. I don't mind driving in Cincinnati, but typically if I'm driving to Cincinnati, it means I get to go to Bogarts and see a cool band play, in theory. He says, I got some news for y'all later today, so make sure to tune in at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I will do my best to remember because sometimes I'm asleep. So if I don't show up in your chat, just text me. Let's see. Cindy says, just filled out the document, Hunger Heath. Driving through Cincinnati is a bear. We'll take the Indiana-Kentucky highway to get down to the airport from up north. I don't mind Cincinnati. It's just not a well planned out city, but I love Cincinnati. I love crossing over into Kentucky over the bridge there. I've seen some cool shows over there. Senator Manch, I'm waiting for group approval, but I'll be joining too. Can't wait to see people I know. That'll be fun. Andy, that's the correct path. Donna says, sugar tastes good. That's the problem. It's the cheapest, most addictive legal substance on earth. Well, think about why it is what it is. Why do things taste good to humans? Because they want us to eat it. I mean, that's why plants don't taste that great unless they're cooked in a lot of butter and get that, like broccoli. If you're a kid, you hate the taste of a was it sulforaphane? Sulforaphane, something like that. There's a chemical in broccoli and cauliflower and all that stuff that tastes bad to kids. I mean, and a lot of adults too. If it's not cooked all the way, that flavor comes through, and it's very bitter and not a good flavor because the plant doesn't want us to eat it. It wants to spread its seed and make more plants. Now, some plants that want you to eat it and spread the seeds make things like apples and fruits with all the seeds in it. So you eat it and then you poop the seeds around. So you grow and make more plants. Sugar is in those fruits, and there's sugar in nature, honey and all that stuff. We would find that it was good, so we would eat it, and then we would bulk up in the wintertime or whatever we needed to supplement everything else we were eating. So we didn't, so we could survive the wintertime. So, I mean, sugar tastes good for a reason. It's an evolutionary thing. Now, I would say that we've over-leveraged that now in modern day. That we're not just having it as a survival food now. It's an everyday, all the time, as much as you want, big, wild, wild west. Becky says, I grew up eating rice. The smell of cooked jasmine rice. I love jasmine rice. Rice is delicious. And I tell you, when I have rice, I don't have the same feeling that I have if I have crappy breads and too much gluten and all that stuff. I don't have the same feeling. And if I have something cheap, but having rice, like if I have sushi or sometimes if I have some Thai dishes and stuff, we'll have a meal or something. I don't have the same feeling the next day. Rice doesn't impact me the same. Sean says we will also be there on March the 8th, Donna. If you're on Facebook, join the Hungry Heath Facebook page. That will help you sign up for the meet on the 8th. Fantastic. I'm excited. So many great people to see. Now we can just talk Chris and Mel into being there. Chris and Mel and Ash. If we can talk those three and being there, that'd be good. Yeah, sugar tastes great, and in the context of rarely finding it in the wild, it was fine. But once we cultivated and packed our foods with it, everything fell apart. Yeah. Oh, butter chicken is so good. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh. There's just things that like life is good because it's there. Doesn't mean you have it all the time, but just knowing it's there and you can have it sometimes, it makes life good. Moo moos. We're both frauds, dude. Big fat frauds. You're a big fat phony. Yes. Senator Manch has a Facebook group. I have a Facebook. Well, mine's more of a blog or whatever. So mine's Keto Indianapolis if you so choose. Let's see. I've been talking. We're at 3 hours and 15 minutes. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I still have coffee. I knew I'd be kind of slow on the uptake today, but come on. Signed up for the Facebook group. JJ says I find cauliflower mashed potatoes better with KC's baked potato soup. Yeah, that was like what was good when I made the cauliflower chaffles. Oh, so good. Y'all need to be putting these Facebook pages out there like a list somewhere. I don't know where to put that stuff. I mean, it's in the description of my videos. Becky says, "Do you remember Seinfeld episode with Elaine getting addicted to cake? It's like that at work. Birthday retirement celebration. Yeah, that's almost always cake." Sherry says, "I couldn't live without cauliflower and broccoli. We have such different palates. I love broccoli and cauliflower now. I never ate it before keto, unless I was a young kid and would eat cauliflower with dipping it in ranch dressing." I just walked through. Yes, let's see. Agreed. You make Sundays much more enjoyable. Well, I'm glad. Fantastic. That means the world to me. Let's see. I do the laundry here, so as long as I don't poop in myself in public, nobody has to know. I mean, just my whole thing is it's just probably going to be something that happens. It's not if, it's when. But my Saturdays got better when I started live streaming. Mine too. Thank you so much for doing that. And I'm not always sick and miss it. 84. Well, there's 87 people watching right now. Nobody watching on Facebook right now, but 30 people watching here on YouTube and 57 watching over on Twitter. So again, if you're watching on Twitter, come on over and say hi on the YouTube side. Maybe give me a subscribe and maybe become a member. Check out my link, KetoSimple.shop. I appreciate that very much. Let's see. This is why Dustin and Victor and I stand for unity and working together as a community in all things. Better health is better. Everything else is just drama. With so much drama in the I don't know. I was going to say something, but it just didn't come out right. I didn't have the words. Let's see, Evelyn. I only realized the other night on Southern Keto as he was talking. I think it's highly interesting that he can see people coming and going. Becky's still here, procrastinating on the weekly chores. Yes. Brian says, when I get rid of sugar and carbs out of my diet, oh my, it just happened. Yeah, I mean it's kind of worked for me when I was leaving the house to going to work for 9 hours and driving in half hour each way, basically being gone 10 hours a day. Yeah, that's just kind of what happened for me. Let's see. Donna said, Victor told me if I see anyone being any kind of rude in his chats to mute, and then if they keep up, remove. He has zero tolerance. Yeah, 100%. Let's see. People talking about things, signing up for things. We love veggies. Let's see. Donna got in. Jaheel is here. Thank you for being here, my friend. So glad you're here. We were talking about London a little while ago. You're going to be in London this year in the fall. I hope you get some fish and chips for me. I love fish and chips. I don't think you like it, but eat some for me, please. You know, I wonder what the equivalent of like White Castle is over in London. It's like White Castle is like a weird American sandwich. You know what I mean? Even if you don't have them in your area, you know what it is. I kind of wonder if there's anything like that over in London that's like strangely like American, like over there, strangely English fast food. I don't know. They like a lot of beans and stuff, and I'm not a bean fan, so like the beans and breakfast and stuff just sounds gross. Like baked beans with breakfast, nope. Oh. All right, Jaheel, he got a Costco card. I'm so proud of you. I haven't been to Costco in like a week. They're probably sending out a search party for me. Frank is still winning he's got 50%. Frank is at 47%. No, my brother's in here. I just saw him, but not in the chat where I can see yet. I can see it on two different places. Stop telling on me. You're not nice. He never behaves himself. Rude. I like that. I'm going to make a big batch and bring it to you sometime in 2025. Says Jackie moved far, far away. She moved farther away than you live now. Let's see. I know my brother's in here. I saw him. Let's see. Evelyn, I really got it for my mom to go. Cindy, yeah, Dustin never behaves. I'm going to have to tell Chandra. She doesn't care. She knows I'm a bad boy. I'm a rebel, Dottie. Let's see. You know what? Maybe. Why not? I mean, Oh, dude, you're killing me here. Keto butter chicken. Oh, with some cashews. Oh, here it come. Watch out, boys. I'll eat it up. Coach Bronson is starting. Okay, I guess I will end this, you guys. Let me see. I know my brother was here stopping in to say hi to everyone, and that I lobe my big brother Dustin. I love you too, Leaky. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you have a good day. Shannon and I were sick all week. We were in bed all week. So reach out, text me today, and I'll talk to you. I'm probably not leaving the house. I don't want to leave the house in the snow and all that stuff, but yeah. Yeah, I'm behind. It's fine. Yes. I understand that. Jennifer filed for an LLC last night. Details soon. Oh, sweet. Excited about that. Can't wait to hear about it. Well, again, thank you all so very much. Almost 3.5 hours with you guys today. It's never enough. It always ends too soon. And again, as I said, I truly apologize for not having the credits all updated, but I'll try to get that before the end of today for Tuesday and next Sunday. And then next Sunday you have me, and then in the evening you're gonna have me, Chris, and Victor with the Keto Crusade. So head on over to Coach. My brain is not working. You just Bronson and tell them I said hey. Tell them I sent you. Go on over. Love you guys. Take care. I hope to feel better soon. We'll see you Tuesday night. I love your faces. And here's the credit.